right into it. Welcome to Murder on Mt.Washington. Of course, I have a few what we call administration things to talk about first. Um, First of all, this is hopefully going to be a larger part of a bigger story arc dealing with the Massachusetts Adventure Society. You've heard a lot about that. You're part members of it, but do you really know who they are? Of course you don't. And hopefully it will explain who they are, their secrets, and all the other good stuff. And this is like the uh, start investigation. What I'm going to try to do is do these investigations so that they're not as long as Mass. They're just these one shot X File episode of the week sort of things to get people going on that. Um, Unlike Mass, this will be regular Call of Cthulhu. That means that,
We gonna
uh,
die.
well, I wouldn't say that.
We're,
Well,
we're
that's the
soft
thing.
as
I
squishy.
wouldn't say that. But it's a lot harder. Calls for a lot more thinking because one gunshot can take you out, unlike in Mass at Pulp Cthulhu, where you're somewhat safe. Here, probably not. You want to be smart about it. This particular adventure, I've ran three times, and the characters I've used four times. Um, at Gen Con and one other place, and I would just say that out of those three times I've run this, I've had one very successful run, one medium successful, and one the characters died fairly quickly and violently. But it is definitely doable, very doable. All right. Um, did everyone get the telegram?
Yes.
Got the
Yes.
telegram. Yes.
Yep.
Yep, everyone got the telegram. Your
Yep.
characters will be starting out as Invocardi. That's that inner circle of the Massachusetts Adventure Society. Does everyone see the excerpts from the Mass Handbook on your screen? All right.
Yep.
Those are little things about Mass, and hopefully you'll learn a little bit more as we go along. Um,
I don't see those. What?
they say excerpts from.
Oh, excerpts. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Another excerpt from the handbook. Those are actually in the Miskatonic Library app that I advise you guys to check out when you have a chance. Life is busy, but they have a lot of information. Um, Also, speaking of information, Chris was actually the one who answered the question about actually looked at the artifacts that were sent down. He replied to the research council. He got a reply back, and that was very important information that will help you out on this adventure. And also, Chris will be getting a artifact from the Mass Archives for his help in real life. So I'll be sending something to him very, very soon.
Sweet.
So any questions before we start?
Do we have time to write our wills?
Yes, you've already done that.
Oh, damn.
I went through it. It was hard to read, but I did read the book in there on the Indians because I figured,
yes.
we had to go to.
And speaking of one last thing on the books, the Massachusetts Handbook or the Mass Book is actually a living thing. The reason why I asked you for your pictures is that no matter what happens in this adventure, you will be going into that book. Your characters will, and what their notation will be depending on the outcome of this adventure. So will be successfully completed this or did that or died or deceased or whatever the case may be. So that's that. Speaking of characters, everyone's seen their characters, had a chance to look at them, play with them? Any questions about your characters?
I'm really excited for mine. I'm happy to actually be someone that doesn't shoot everything.
Go. Also, did everyone give your characters a first name? Because your characters, like I said, They're except for Mallory, the captain, which no one chose. Which I don't understand that. In all the games, he's usually the second to the last character chosen. And I don't understand why people don't like that character.
I chose him.
You did? Oh, you're Sydney? Cool.
Yeah.
Great. That is great. Very good. Very, very
My only
good.
question is under sanity. What does 40/50/99
Wilbur.
mean?
That the 40 is a baseline. If you hit 40, that means you have problems. I can go over that in the rules, or I can show you in the rules, and we'll go over that one if we ever get to it.
Okay.
All right. But your sanity actually is that middle number there, the current sanity.
Oh, okay.
All right. So there is that. Great. Someone took Sydney. I was worried about that. And so the characters we have here is Sydney, Captain Sydney Mallory.
Where's the current sanity?
It should be the middle. It should be the middle number in sanity. In your sanity there.
I don't have anything in mind.
Really?
It says 4, current, and 99.
What character are you again?
Wiscombe.
Wiscombe? That's weird. Let me check that real quick. You should have yours in there. Wow, that is weird. You should have had it. I'm going to change that right now.
Okay.
Wiscombe has... I'm sorry.
55. Okay.
Yeah, wait a minute, hold up. Put it in the wrong spot. You're starting with 55. There you go. There you go. And your current is 55. There you go. All right,
Okay.
we got it. And Wilbur Wiscombe. And so let's start
MD.
with MD.
Doctor.
And everyone's seeing their background. You realize that some of you have relationships with each other already. So I'm going to go around the table with Professor Miles. Can you tell your full name and a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Professor Alfred Miles. I went to Boston. I'm a professor in parapsychology, study of otherwise supernatural occurrences. I was never exactly revered. Parapsychology is, of course, a struggling field. That being said, I was booted out of the university when I left for London for a scandal which I did not commit, but I did lose my family as a result, and people consider me something of a quack. But no, I'm an expert in my field.
Okay. We don't have a Professor Mead, right? Yep. Dr. Wiscombe.
I am Wilbur Wiscombe. I'm from Boston. I am a very well-renowned expert on infectious diseases.
And by the way, I just want to put this character was written like 3 years ago, had nothing to do with COVID. So thank you very much.
I've in fact I hold one of the top positions at Mass General Hospital. My path into medicine was I was guided into that by my Uncle Percy, who was a member of the Massachusetts Adventurous Society, and he's had put me, being able to use his contacts and influence has been instrumental in getting my career off the ground. I'm from a very wealthy family of Boston bankers, and Professor Mead, who you guys don't know who that is, that's my cousin. So,
Right. Okay.
I know Professor Mead. He's a great friend of mine.
Yes, he is. Unfortunately, he just doesn't exist right now. He couldn't make it today. All right. And speaking of which, Jones, tell us about yourself.
I'm Amanda Jones, as most of you know. I'm a very famous author. I'm sure you've all seen my books on, homicide mysteries, and I'm also known for traveling. So I travel the world and I write books about what I see, and I add a little bit of my own fiction in there. And most of you probably actually know my mother as well. She's a journalism teacher at Miskatonic University.
Yoo-hoo.
Currently, I'm living in New Jersey, but only temporarily as I travel more than stay still.
Alrighty.
We
And
had to think of him.
and Captain Sidney Mallory. Captain Mallory? Sydney.
Yep, I had to bring up his character sheet. Sorry.
No problem.
Hello.
I was at Sandy West Point. And I was very well regarded. I had my own infantry squad I commanded with distinction. I was awarded bravery medals and fast tracked to become a career officer. While in London in 1924, I met my British Army counterparts for the Department of War. And sadly, when I came back home,
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Can you hear Nate, Mike?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. You can't hear Nate?
Can't hear Nate at all.
Okay, 1 second. Hold on. Let's double check and see if Nate has. I don't know why. Nate, can you talk?
Yeah. Talk.
Funny, I can hear him. When you want to
Yeah,
check,
I can hear him.
yeah, you might want to check and see if you have Nate muted.
Oh, let me look. Try now.
Talk. How about now?
Could you hear him? He just said something. Could you hear him?
We can't hear anything he's saying.
That is so weird.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, Westmus could hear him. All right.
Do you need to turn me up?
That is so
Could
weird.
Nate's volume be too low on your thing, Mike?
Yeah, double check. Yeah, you can do user volume.
I've got everybody. Yeah, no, he's cranked all the way up.
Okay, Nate, can you talk? And Mike, can you look and see if you see the green circle around him when he speaks? Okay, Nate, go ahead and say something.
My character is a security guard.
I see the green circle around him.
But you don't hear him. I have no idea what that is then.
Oh, hold on. Try it now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
What happened?
I had him turned down.
Oh.
But I didn't find that until just now. So, all right. All set. I can hear him now.
All right, Nate, can you continue on? Continue, please.
Okay. When I came back from London after spending time with my British counterparts, the Department of War, I was confronted with a court-martial, and I was accused for unbecoming of an officer. And during the trial, many of my men, who I fought bravely with, decided to say falsehoods and basically ruined my commission and smeared my reputation for the rest of my life. So, which left me in the point where I no longer speak to my family, and I am left to be nothing more than a security guard at this point in life.
I can sympathize. The scandal that rocked my school, they accused me of sleeping with a minor, which was not true, but it cost me my job and my family. So I can sympathize.
All right. All right. And last but not least, Sergeant Cobb.
I former New York City detective. Generally liked by the community, but had to leave because of just bad memories, needed to take a step away from it all.
Gotcha. All right, and you also know Uncle Percy. In fact, one of the things that you all have in common is that you do happen to know Uncle uh, Percival Fowler. You can also find him in the Mask Handbook. He's a rather known thing. And you also, if your character background say, you may know each other from different things. You also, it was thanks to Uncle Percy that brought you all into Mass. And what has happened is you came in immediately as Invocardi. What you know about Invocardi is that while the Arcanum is the rank and file members of Mask, those are, the large number of people and just a face of Mask. The Invocardi is actually supposed to be the lesser known and also the sort of shield of Mask. You guys get the what I call the investigations. You guys basically carry out the hand that Mask is really supposed to be about, protecting the society and its members from the darkness, the concentrated evil that is in the world. And we say that doesn't mean like kidnappers or run of the mill evils. Is what director Zorn calls the unusual, and more about that later. Okay. You all got your, and as Evacardi, you took an oath, and when you got your membership packages, which all of you got membership packages, and if you read the letter in the membership package, it says by taking this, you are swearing that you will protect the society and humanity at large and do the right thing, basically. And the way that works is that from time to time, the director will call upon the Evacardi to do missions, if it was for the greater good, if you will. In return, you get special privileges for membership. One thing, no matter what your credit rating is, you'll never go hungry. And you have Massachusetts, the society always has your back as best they can. And again, more of that in future episodes. Anyway, in this episode, you guys got your telegram. It is around 2 o'clock. And I assume that you all show up at the Medfield Mass warehouse. Is that a correct assumption?
That is correct.
Yeah.
All right. And there. Did the scene change? I hope.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
That is the front of the warehouse. What you know about the Mass warehouse is it's an old warehouse that it's not the archives, but the society keeps a lot of its equipment there. The society sponsors expeditions, investigations, and stuff, and they need equipment. So they brought this warehouse. It's fully stocked. You guys pretty much know you've been there before. As Evacardi, you get the walk around. This is your first mission, says Evacardi, by the way. But you know that anything you could possibly want within reason is pretty much stocked in a warehouse. Anything for an expedition from downtown Boston to the deepest, darkest parts of Amazon. And what happens is when you have those longer expeditions, you usually stock up at the warehouse, and then you take trucks down to the harbor or the train station or whatever you're going to go, and you load up that way. Okay, but it's not the archives. It doesn't have the artifacts here. This is just mundane equipment. You know that there is a gentleman that sits in front of that door on a stool. He's an older African-American gentleman. His name is Jeremy. He's the guardian of the warehouse, the sentinel or the of the warehouse, and the proper procedure is to walk up to him, give him a greeting of the day individually, and show him your Evacardi coin. By the way, your coins, if you want to look up more about your mass coins, because you should have two, you can go to the the library app and look under a book about magic coins, and it will give you a history of what those coins are. Okay.
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 So what do? You are standing. This is your view that you see. You're standing in front of the warehouse.
Have any of us met before, like in this group?
I know everyone knows. I believe. Let me check real quick. Jones knows Mead. Jones would also know Detective Cobb. You guys have met before through Uncle Percy.
Ah,
And that's the
okay.
only one. You and Jones. Mead is kind of the linchpin of everybody else. Everybody kind of knows Mead, but he's not. He or she is not here today.
Okay.
So Jones, you know Detective Cobb, and what's Detective Cobb's first name?
I haven't thought of one. I didn't realize we had two.
It's kind of important. Male or female?
I was thinking of playing male.
Okay. So let's just say Robert Cobb.
That's what I was gonna go for.
Okay.
So that worked out.
Jones, you know Robert not extremely well, but Robert has helped you on some of your detective novels, your murder mysteries, getting the police view of it, as it were.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys know, and you know each other by reputation a little bit. And so there you go.
Yes.
So you're at the front door. The door. Jeremy is sitting on a stool looking at you. And what do you use? You do.
Knock.
You said you're supposed to greet him as the day, so I greet him for like the day, like you.
He says, "Hello, Captain Mallory. How are you today?"
Doing well, fine.
Yes.
Fine, sir. Thank you for asking.
Do you have business inside?
Indeed, we received a telegram, and we are looking into the Indian. What do you call it? What was the thing called? The
Artifacts?
Thank you. Yes.
Well, he says none of that's necessary. None of that's necessary. They're expecting you, I'm sure. And then he just looks at you.
Continue on.
Huh? And he doesn't open the door, though. He doesn't open the door.
Oh.
Supposed to have like a password of the day.
Again, I'll repeat. You know the proper procedure is to show him the coin.
Oh, I missed that part. Sorry. Yeah, I show him my coin then.
He goes, "Go right in, Captain. And the director will be waiting for you in the office." And he looks at the next person in line. He says, "Good afternoon."
Good afternoon, Jeremy. It's good to see you again.
Professor Miles. It's been a
Yes.
long time. It's been a long time.
It has. It has indeed. Are you well?
I am doing extremely well, sir. He says, "I suppose you have business inside."
I do, and I flash my coin as I'm talking. I received word about these Native American artifacts that I'm very particular.
He says that's not. He says that's business for inside, sir. He says the director is waiting for you upstairs in the office.
Of course. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, sir. He says, "Hello," to the next person in line.
Hi, and I flash him my coin. Following through the business inside.
He says, "Ms. Jones, I must say I really enjoyed your latest novel. I actually didn't know who. I thought I knew who did it until the very end, but I was totally wrong."
Oh, thanks. I just tried a new theory on writing with some different kinds of twists.
He says, "Yeah." He says, "I know we're not supposed to do this, but," he pulls out a copy of your book, your novel, and says, "Is there any way I can get you to autograph it?"
Absolutely.
He says, "Very good, ma'am. Very good. I suppose you have business inside."
Yes, please, and I show him my coin.
He says, "The director is waiting for you in the warehouse office."
Thank you.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Jeremy.
Oh,
Oh no, you go.
Doctor, it's been a while. Thank you for that advice on my arthritis. It really helped.
I'm pleased to hear that.
He says,
I show him the coin, and
he says, I suppose you have business inside.
it does appear that way.
He says, the director is waiting for you in the warehouse office. And he says, Mr. Cobb.
Yes.
He says,
I
hello.
blushed.
He says,
I was told I was needed here.
oh, I suppose you are. Are you here? Are you here? I assume you're here for business.
Of course.
He looks at you.
Right. I flashed the coin.
He says, go right in. The director is waiting for you upstairs in the office.
And I go in.
All right. So, sorry for the formality, but it is what it is. All right. So you go in, and we will go to the next scene. There you go. Did the scene change for everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
All
Yep.
right.
Yes.
You see where it says main entrance. You go in there. In this, and this is the typical warehouse look. And in the empty spaces here, you see 3 trucks, and you see about 12 people in the warehouse loading the trucks and doing warehousey business. Some of these people you recognize. They work. Everyone here works for the society. The arrow is the steps leading up to the warehouse office. And you can see through the window already there are 2 figures walking in the office. What do you do?
I'm going to go upstairs.
Okay. I assume that everyone else does that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You head upstairs. You guys enter the warehouse office. In the office, you see 2 people. You see someone you recognize as Maximilian Zorn, director of Mass, and you see another well-dressed gentleman in a suit sitting in front. Zorn is sitting behind a desk. The gentleman is sitting in front of the desk, and there are 5 other chairs around the desk. As you get in, the director Zorn gets up and says, "Greetings. Thank you for coming, gentlemen and ladies. Please have a seat."
I take a seat.
He says, I take it that your journey here was uneventful, and I want to apologize in advance for taking you away from whatever you may have been doing this fine afternoon.
Oh, no, believe me, I could use the distraction, sir.
Of course, Professor, of course. He says, thank you for coming on such short notice. He says,
What we're here for.
yes. He says, allow me to introduce Joseph S. Hall, co-owner of Mt.Washington's tip-top hotel and summit weather observation. He points to the guy. The gentleman is a blonde guy, somewhat thin. You can tell by looking at him. He's got money, but he's not one of the aristocrats. Just he's overdressed. A bit. And by the way, this is November, in case you're wondering, so people have coats on.
Okay.
Yeah.
The gentleman stands up and nods to you. He says, as you may know, Mount Washington is located in New Hampshire and is the highest peak in the Northwest. Mr. Hall contacted me yesterday with an urgent request. He had heard of Mass Owl Society's success in investigating the unique and very discreet in matters. So he wants us to look into a possible incident concerning his hotel atop Mount Washington. I will let Mr. Hall explain. Mr. Hall stands up and says, hi guys. This summer, as you may or may not know, while beginning construction on a new expansion for my hotel on the tip top on the summit of Mount Washington, workers found what was thought to be local Indian artifacts dating back for over 400 years in an ancient underground burial complex. This is strange because the local experts have told me it is well known that the indigenous tribes in the area had in the past always avoided this summit. They called it, I don't know, the place where the spirit is buried or some Indian goobly gob. I'm not so sure. He says, then you hear the director chime in. They call it Agakok, Agiocchook, Agakok, the place of the great spirit or the place of the concealed one. He says, yeah, that's what they call it. Sure. He says, anyway, I sent the artifacts to Miskatonic University in Arkham, Mass. For further study. You know, who they might be worth something. You never know. Researchers at MU determined not only were the artifacts from an Indian tribe called the Abenaki, but they were also among the findings were some really strange, unknown evidence of an unknown group, as they say, of a previously unknown group. They thought it may have been remnants of an ancient Indian magical ceremony or something like that. The university was very interested, and they recommended sending an archaeological team to the summit for a more thorough excavation of the site. Also, they contacted the society here and for their expertise, and then the director chimes in and says, "Yes, we sent one of our members there as team lead." He says, so you know me, I'm always interested in these sort of things. He says, I agreed and quickly assembled and financed a group of 8 experts from the university in the Boston area. I tell you, buddies, nothing brings in the tourist money like an ancient Indian burial ground. You know what I mean, right? You know what I mean, right?
Well, I was wondering why I had been the telegraph intrigued me, but when you mentioned that Indian tribe, it sort of starts putting pieces begin falling into place because I had recently checked out a book from the Miskatonic Library on the that very tribe.
You're right.
So
this is right, Doc. Anyway,
I think someone probably connected some dots and.
He says, "Yeah, sure. Indians are Indians to me, Doc." He says, what I did was I halted further construction in a hotel. I told them they would have to wait until the tour season was over, of course, because the tour season isn't over till July, and to start their investigation, plus some time to clean it up and so forth like that. So on September 12th, the team arrived on the summit by the way of the auto road. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's pretty interesting. It says, after a few weeks, the team radioed back word that the Indian chamber they found was used as a place for ritual sacrifices of children, no less. Yeah, I know, right? The report said those godless savages must have killed hundreds of them. Now, the weird part is, it seems that while the sacrificed children were all of this local Abenaki or Abapapi or whatever you call them, Indian tribe, the guys actually doing the sacrifice and were from somewhere else. Who and where? They don't know. The team also unearthed 6 unidentified relics, which they said had been of high importance to whoever did this to those poor children a long time ago. The weather at the summit this time of the year can be pretty harsh. So the team had ceased their excavations, but they decided to stay up there to continue doing their research. And I let them use the excavation machine, the construction equipment up there, and they could stay in the hotel. No one's up there. Everything was going well. We were getting regular reports. The team was in radio contact daily. And then 2 days ago, around midnight, the radio operator in Meshfield, the town at the base of the radio operator in Meshfield Sheriff's Office, the town at the base of the mountain, received a call from the summit. It was from Leon Franklin, one of the archaeologists on the team. The operator recognized his voice as he's been in contact with the summit several times before, and Liam usually does most of the talking. The message said, "Help! Danger! Mariah!" Then it stopped transmitting, and we haven't received any messages since.
Help! Danger! Mariah!
Yes. It says, and of course, you know, the sheriff and the deputy went up to investigate. But yesterday, I was told by the sheriff's office that there has been an accident, and the sheriff is dead. So they're postponing further investigation until they can get some more help. You know, it's a small town. I informed them that I will be sending my own investigation team, and they agreed to assist since I'm on good terms with the local officials there. My Boston contact suggested I seek out you guys, the society, if I want this matter handled in a professional and discreet way. And discreetly. I have invested tens of thousands of dollars on Mt.Washington, so I need to protect my investments from bad press, something like this could turn out to be. I need you to clear up whatever's happening up there discreetly. You know what I mean? Zorn stands up and says, "Thank you, Mr. Hall. The society will look into this matter for you, and rest assured we will get to the bottom of the situation on the summit. I will contact you first when our investigators find a solution." At this point, he shakes Mr. Hall's hand, and then Mr. Hall exits. The director turns to you and say, "Well, friends, that's the situation I must ask you to jump into. I have an uncanny feeling that there may be some paranormal forces at work here that will require your unique skill set to deal with. In fact, thanks to the research that Professor Miles did on some of the artifacts that Mariah Franklin sent down, my thoughts that it might be paranormal or supernatural was kind of confirmed. Your mission, of course, if you accept it, is to investigate the strange radio message sent by Liam Franklin, ensure the safety of the research team, and to uncover more about the excavation site. We have prepared some packets on all the information we have on the site and the research team themselves. You and your equipment will be transported by trucks to the mountain. You will have 3 drivers accompanying you, driving the trucks, of course. The trip will take about 7 hours from here. So if you leave by now you should make it there by 10 p.m. Our drivers will take you to Marshfield rail station at the base of the mountain. There you will meet the deputies of the town, of the sheriff's office. They have been contacted to expect you. Arrangements have been made for you to stay the night at the rail station, and in the morning you'll take the Cog Railroad up to the top of the summit, as the auto road has been closed. It says we have more information on that for you if you're interested. It says, so this is what I'm asking of you. I know it's short notice. Any questions?
Director, are there any known living descendants of this tribe locally to Mt.Washington?
To the best of our knowledge, not many. The tribe mysteriously dispersed about 400 years ago. No mystery about where they went. They just, the cohesion of the tribes seemed to fell apart. No one knows quite why, though.
It's believed that I can actually answer this.
Oh, please.
Because I read that book.
Oh.
They were for a long time they were confused by there was people believed that there were multiple different tribes that stretched anywhere from Maine through New York to Lake Champlain and up through Canada, when in fact this tribe, the Abenaki, was actually one giant tribe, and with different.
I'm sorry. Say again.
It was one giant tribe, had a lot of different societies within it, and so they didn't so much as disappear as those different society, those different subgroups sort of broke away and became the tribes like the Mi'kmaq and the Wampanoags.
You're quite correct. You're quite correct, Doctor. And I applaud you on your research. But there has been a question among scholars of what caused them to disintegrate, because the Abenaki at one time was very powerful.
I'm muted.
Is someone trying to say something? Hello?
You can.
Sorry, 1 second.
That's a funky looking dagger head.
I'm sorry, say again? You kind of, I couldn't hear
Yes,
that.
so they
That's a funky looking dagger head.
are they
Yes,
showing
that-
it the dagger?
yes. And actually, he brings the dagger out, and that's one of the artifacts that was brought back.
And what are they saying this?
Well, from what we can tell, it is definitely of South American Aztec, some sort of Aztec design. I believe Professor Miles might know more about that.
Yes. From my discussions with the Research Council, and this is what concerns me, is supposedly this is some kind of cult activity related to a heathen Native American god that we know as the Wendigo. It is considered a god of the winds, among other things. That being said, it is known primarily as a cannibalistic spirit and is possessive of people that resort to cannibalism out in the wilds, and is known for haunting, supposedly, the Great White North. The fact that this is South American in origin makes me pause, because as far as I knew, the Wendigo was always associated with the North and the cold. What a cult in South America is doing worshipping that god, I couldn't say. But if these relics are in fact related to the Wendigo, then this could be potentially incredibly dangerous.
Yes, thank you, Professor. Well, I'm glad to see all of you are on top of your game already. I knew I had the right people. Any more questions?
Except this picture of the Jacobs. What's this picture of the railroad?
Oh, that is the Cog Railroad. Yes, he says yes. As he said, the auto road that normally goes up the Mt.Washington has been closed, partially due to I'm not sure why. So the only way to get up there now is through the railroad. This railroad is quite a unique thing. You might want to research it, but it actually goes straight up the mountain, such as that. It's used for tourists. It's called the Cog Railroad. It pulls itself up. And by the way, this is all real. This is all real in real life. That train is still going today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he says that's the way you'll get up there. It's quite a trip, by the way. It says the townspeople have made arrangements along with Mr. Hall to get you up there.
Excellent.
Okay.
How long of a ride is it?
By the way, if you haven't really done it, I highly suggest it. And pucker your ass. So,
real life point of note: if you go up Mt.Washington, you might want to take the Cog Railroad, because
the auto road is far worse. Yeah.
There's a whole list of mobiles that are not allowed to even attempt to go up the mountain. And if you have a Honda, you don't go.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. So he says, yes. And is there any more information that you think you may need?
I'm just wondering, like, if there was someone local from this tribe that it would be helpful to have their guidance in terms of this, if it's related to something Native American ritualistic, especially where the Wendigo is concerned. To have someone.
He says once you get there, you may find someone around.
Okay.
But again, it would be hard to do. Finding Native Americans in this part of the country is hard.
True.
Sadly. Sadly. He says, and of course, if you speak to the quartermaster, he will make sure you're well supplied and everything you might need
Okay.
downstairs. He says, but I do press upon you the time. We want to try. It's been 2 days already, so we want to try to get up there, and it is a 7-hour trip from here up to Mt.Washington. And for those who are counting the time, remember this is 1920. The roads aren't quite the same as they are now.
Okay.
This is there any other information you might want to know before you go?
Nope.
He says, well then, if you meet the quartermaster downstairs and tell him what you need, he will get you going.
Okay.
Good luck, gentlemen and ma'am. He gets up and he leaves. What do you do?
Well, probably gonna go see the quartermaster. I want to see what handling is for. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go see the quartermaster.
Okay, you guys are pretty familiar with this procedure. So, you see you see him down there. He's a older gentleman. He says, yes. His name is Fred. He says, yes, can I help you? What would you like? He says, we got the lads loading up the truck with some of the basic cold weather gear that you're going to need. So that should take care of that. Is there anything else that you might need other than the basics?
Definitely gonna need things in way of heat.
Yeah.
He says, from my understanding, you shouldn't be up there more than a couple days at most.
Okay. All right. I don't know what to expect, so I'm wondering what we should procure in terms of protection.
He says, well, we do have plenty of warm coats and warm weather gear already packed for you.
It's not so much in terms of the weather. It's in terms of if something happened to those people, we don't know what to expect, and I don't know what we can use to defend ourselves.
He says, are you talking about guns?
I mean, not necessarily guns, but any kind of protection. I mean, I'm no firearm expert, but I don't like the idea of these people have suddenly gone radio silent. Something is up there, and I just want to prepare.
Oh, you're looking for something extra, he says, with a wink in his eye.
Sure, yeah.
Well, he says, any idea what you might be looking for? Or just anything extra?
Well, out of character, this is kind of the more mundane stuff, right? There's nothing really like fact-based here.
Well, you haven't actually gone through everything here. I mean, you don't go through everything, so you don't know.
Okay.
And this is your first mission here. I mean, your first job for the Evocardi. So
okay. All right, I'm going to ask him. What do you have? It's going to be a strange question, but what do you have in terms of non-mundane artifacts?
Artifacts. Oh well, the artifact curator, Mr. Abdul, he does with most of the artifacts, as he gives you air quotes. He says, so you're looking for something probably not as special, I would take it.
Special in a less earthly degree, if that makes any sense.
What are you on about?
What?
What are you on about?
I'm talking about something special in terms of more, I guess you could call it, magical means.
You want something magical? Why didn't you say so? He says,
I thought you were asking about illegal, and I was about to have issues.
No. No, it's a matter entirely of I'm afraid of what we're dealing with, and going in earthly means may not be enough.
Oh.
At least if it were illegal, it would be real.
He says, well, and he says, I don't have a lot in that thing, what you're asking for, but I do have this bag of dirt.
It's a bag of dirt.
I gotta judge it.
It is a bag of dirt. Yes, it's special dirt.
I'm sure it is.
Can I do some kind of occult roll to figure out what kind of dirt it is?
Yes, you can.
Okay, let me take a look. My occult is a 65. Let's happen. Oh, no, hell no. What's my luck? Yeah, I'm gonna burn. Let's see, 71. 6. I'm gonna burn 6 luck to make that a regular success.
Already? Oh boy.
I have 90 luck. Yeah, so I'm gonna burn 6 luck, make that a regular success.
Yes, he's very lucky. All right. You know exactly what this is, and because as you move the dirt around, you see it's actually a green, grayish powder. And I'm just going to give you this right here because it'll make life easier for me because I like easy life.
Okay.
And it's this. And 1 second. Sorry, there's a couple things I did not get a chance to do, which I was supposed to redo. And excuse the spelling mistakes here. Success. I don't know why it's doing that. I hate this. I hate this game. There you go. All right, so there, and this is what you've got. And you have 3 doses.
Is it on roll 20? Oh, no, here it is. Okay. Let's see it.
You just happen to know what that is. When it's the stuff about Yoggoth and Migos, don't pay any attention to that. You just know their first part.
Oh, I'm taking it. I'm taking this.
He says, "You sure you want the dirt now?"
I'm very sure.
All right. He says, "That's all I got."
That's fine. I will take it. How much do I owe you?
He says, "You're in Bacardi." You don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
He says, "You're in Bacardi. What do you want?" And there it is.
Okay.
He says, "Anyway, the lads are getting the truck ready. They should be ready in the next 15 to 20 minutes. How about the rest of you lot? You want anything else?"
Ammo?
Ammo for what?
Ammunition, yeah.
What gun do I have?
You have a .08 Luger and a .30 caliber.
Do you have Luger and carbine?
So that's of course you do. He says, "Come this way." He leads you towards the back of the right hand back of the warehouse in that little office area. That office area on the right opposite of the main office area. It's more like a little shack. He opens the door and it is a gun store. It has got racks and guns and ammo and stuff. And you see a young woman there cleaning weapons, and she says, "Hey, Fred, how you doing?" He says, "Sheila, my friend here needs some ammo. Anyone else needs anything?"
I need ammunition.
Okay, how much ammunition you need for what?
I have a 38 auto.
How many you need?
20 sound like enough?
She says, "Take."
I'm asking the group.
She says, "Take 50. They're cheap."
50 is what she said?
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yep. She gives you 2 boxes. Take 50. They're cheap. And
All right.
she go and you. Oh, I read your book. I know who you're Amanda Jones.
I am.
Anything you want, Amanda. What do you need?
I'm looking for .08 Luger and 30 carbine.
Sure. Here, take 100 each.
Sweet. 100 each.
I've got
some 45 and some 303, please.
Sure,
I've
Captain.
got a 12 gauge.
Sure, Captain. There you go. There you go. Basically, you guys get 100 rounds for everything you need.
I've never been a big one to use firearms, but I think it might not be a bad idea. Do you have at least like a 38? I'm not very proficient in firearm.
She says, "Yep, here's the business. You point this end this way and squeeze this thing. You point this end, the business end that way, and squeeze this trigger right here. There you go. I'm gonna give you 25 bullets, probably more than you need."
Okay.
All right.
She says,
So how many would I take for the 12 gauge?
she can give you 100 rounds, no problem. Put it on the truck.
Oh, jeez.
What was the shop lady's name?
Sheila.
Sheila.
Sheila, can I sign anything for you if you're a fan?
It's against the rules, but if you offer, sure. She pulls out your latest book. She goes, thank you, Amanda.
I'm quite popular.
Thank you so much for helping all of us get ammo, and I sign her book.
She goes, wow. So can you give me any hints on your next novel?
That I can't do. But just know I'm going on an adventure up a mountain at the moment.
Right. Okay. Sure. Well, if Sheila down here in the warehouse, if you can give me an advance copy, I would be I'd be so appreciative.
I'll keep that in mind.
Also, characters. Your characters would have at least one item of their profession. For example, the doctor, you would have your medical bag. You don't need to really get that from anybody. You would come with your medical bag. Captain, you would definitely have one military item within reason. Not a hand grenade or something like that, but something, your guns actually. And
sentimental hand grenade.
Yeah, Jones, you would have something because you're an author, but maybe a pair of binoculars or something. Just choose one thing that's within reason that is in your sphere of influence.
Would it be out of the question if I had a book on me about Native American legends?
Nope, that would not be out at all. You would probably say, hey, I will got this book here, and that would not be a problem. I will give you that. Yes. Okay. Sure. Anyone else?
Hey, Sheila, any chance you have some dynamite?
Yeah, no, sorry, I can't give that to you, Amanda. I wish I could.
Even for an advanced copy of my book? I'll make sure you're the first to read it.
I certainly would, but the director has certain rules on things like that.
Might you have, I don't know what we would call them, lugs for boots? Because it's going to be snowy and icy. We're going up the mountain.
Spikes on the boots. Yeah, they're already packed.
Yeah, it's microspike. Yes.
Yeah, they're already packed. They're with their cold weather gear. Yep, all that's already packed for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Fred should have told you that. He's getting senile. This is and like I said, there you go. Be glad to see you when you get back.
Have fun raiding the castle.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that means there's dynamite in the building. She just doesn't want to give it to me. So should we look for it?
No.
Why do you need dynamite?
Where's your sense of adventure? Who knows?
Where's your
My sense of adventure is
carrying dynamite on you?
My sense of adventure is us going up this mountain to begin with.
You do know from Uncle Percy and what you know being in Bacardi for a little over a year now. Stealing from the society is bad. Very, very bad. Bad. As in, you probably shouldn't do it. I can't stop you, but bad.
We are climbing a mountain. Why do we need dynamite?
What if there's a rock in the way?
The only thing I can imagine dynamite causing would be an avalanche.
You see, Fred goes, okay, if you ladies and gentlemen are finished, we're burning daylight here.
Do we have enough first aid and flashlights and those types of things? Since a cave was mentioned, perhaps we should, not a cave, but an underground complex. We should make sure we have plenty of light sources and things like that. flares.
He says, you got lanterns up. You got lanterns and camping equipment in your loadout. Loadout there. And a few flashlights.
Fair enough. How about our first aid essentials?
That's something you'll need to talk to the doctor about.
Doctor? How are we doing on our supplies?
I have my full medical bag.
Yep.
Which
the professor mentioned a
would have
Wendigo,
what?
so we're probably gonna need a lot of bandages, I imagine, for tearing and clawing and things like that.
For what it's worth, you better hope it's the worst.
The professor is speaking nonsense.
And you got
Wendigos are.
And you rest of
Our
guys
stories
know that Professor Miles does tell some wild tales.
This
Yeah, he does tell
this
wild
this
tales.
tribe that was actually a very civilized, and I suspect what we're going to find out is there's a whole lot of nothing going on up here.
Doctor, if I may. Were you ever afraid of the dark as a child?
Of course, every child is.
Have you ever considered what's in it to make you afraid?
Um,
Have you ever thought about the possibility of something actually
yes.
having a reason?
Ignorance is what makes people afraid of the dark, because once you get older and you become less ignorant, you realize that.
Well, what you call ignorance, I call belief.
Fred says, these trucks are leaving.
All right. Let's press on then.
Okay. You can sit 3 people in front. That includes the driver on each truck. And all 6 of you can go in the back of one truck. How do you want to go up there?
There's 3 trucks, right?
Yes. Each truck can take 2 passengers.
Yeah.
Or you can just all go in one back of
Deep
one.
down, I feel almost obliged to go with the doctor because now he's brought out a debate in me, and I need to see this through to the.
Okay. I'm going to wait for whichever truck he gets in. I'm going to get in a different one.
Okay. Okay. So who's pairing up?
Before we leave, I'm a little concerned about the doctor's nonchalantness, so I want to make sure I have some extra medical gear on myself.
You can get an extra first aid kit. Yes.
Oh, I'm well prepared for any eventual emergency, but I think I think that some people are being very melodramatic, dramatic at this.
Oh, so that's what we're going. All right. Okay.
Look,
Okay.
it's not about you're a nut.
Okay, who's in truck 1?
I'll go in truck 1.
Who else?
Then I'm truck 2.
Okay.
I'll go in truck 2.
I guess I'll go in.
Okay, who's in truck 1?
I am.
And who else?
I'll go in truck 1.
I say this is why I brought the book.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Right.
Who's in truck 2?
The doctor.
Okay, who else? Who else?
Jones.
Okay, and so Cobb is by himself. No. Yeah, Cobb is by himself. Okay, you guys go and drive. And your drivers are there. They're chit-chatting. You're getting through the traffic that is Massachusetts, and you're heading north.
Even in the 1920s, there's all these potholes.
Okay, yeah, especially now. The drive is a little bit bumpy. You're not really going to get a lot of sleep here as you get further and further north. Do you guys do anything during the drive?
I'm going to converse with the captain. Say, so you were a Navy man.
Captain? That would be you, Nate.
Yeah, I'm looking because I don't remember. I think it said Army. I don't remember. I'm trying
Yeah,
to look it up right now.
yes, yeah,
Oh,
Army.
so you were a military man.
Oh yeah, because he said Navy. I was.
Well, it's a great war.
Great War.
Yeah, because the Great War is what separated me from.
Okay. All right. Served in
Hey, can you say that again? You're
Yeah,
breaking up.
you're breaking up, bud.
Sorry, I said, did you serve in the war, Captain?
Oh, I did quite distinguishedly, or with quite distinction.
Well, I thank you for your service, sir. It does mean a lot to this country.
I appreciate it. I just wish it wasn't on such tarnished and disreputable and, quite frankly, disgusting terms.
Believe me, I can sympathize. That's exactly how I was booted out of Boston College. So,
Well, to hell to them all. I know what I did, and I'm proud of what I did. The rest can go, you know, choke on whatever.
I can agree with that.
Truck 2, you guys doing anything?
I'm
Oh.
I'll take that as a no. Truck 3, are you doing anything?
No.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Say again.
She said no.
Okay, all right. So, about 3 hours go by. I mean, about so many hours go by. It's starting to get dark. As you get further and further north, it gets definitely more and more cold. It is not even a joke. It is cold. It's getting colder and colder. It is only November, but it is maybe a little unseasonably cold this so far. You're getting as you get closer, you can see the presidential mountains. Certainly, you can see Mount Washington. You can make that out from here. You can also tell that Mount Washington is full with a lot of clouds too. You can't really make out the summit from looking at it from here, which is it's not that unusual. It's nighttime and it is that time of year. So, um, one second.
It's a bit froggy up there.
Huh?
It's a bit froggy up there.
Yeah, it is. And somewhat foreboding. You don't know why. You guys finally make it to Marshville, the station, and this is what it looks like. You pull up in front. It's nighttime. All 3 trucks make it, but no problem at all. And this is what you see. That's the Marshville station.
Okay.
Off to the right, far right there, you can see where the cog train is. It goes up the track. It looks pretty flat right now, but you can see as the tracks will basically incline up the mountain. Like I said, halfway up the mountain though, it's dark, but you can't even. You probably couldn't see it even if you went. It was daytime because there's some sort of cloud cover fog up there right now. Probably one of the reasons why the auto road is closed. As you're pulling into the station, you could tell that there's only one light on in the station. It's dark, but you do see a cop car, a sheriff's car, parked in front of the station, and there's 2 people standing with coats on, waiting for you. Truck 1, what do you do?
I get out and greet the person waiting for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the captain.
Truck 2, what do you do?
Reading.
Stuff and go as well.
Okay. Hey, truck 3?
Coming out and greeting them.
Okay. Doctor, I'd assume you're coming out too?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You come up and you see a tall, skinny man with a deputy's cap on and a coat on. And you see another gentleman with more of a rugged coat on. You can definitely tell he's darker of skin. He doesn't have a deputy's shirt. He doesn't have a deputy's uniform on or anything. He has more of what looks like a train engineer's uniform on. You see one of the deputy walks up to you, the first person, which would be, I think Miles said Miles said he was coming out first. You see
Mallory said he was going out first.
Mallory, I'm sorry, Mallory. Sorry, Mallory. You see the deputy comes up to you and says, "My name is Deputy Barnes, Calvin Barnes. I was told you were coming here." He says, "Friend over there, that's Indian Joe. He's going to take you up in the summit in the morning and on the cog rail. In the meantime, you can stay in the station's lobby since it's closed for the season."
Thank you, sir.
He looks somewhat disgusted at all of you.
Let's
Disgusted?
Yes.
Why is he?
You can't please everybody.
Can I try a psychology roll, see what's bothering him?
Yeah, go for it. Go for that. Do that.
I don't know anything.
He looks happy.
Everybody looks this way when they see me.
Captain, what are you doing? Nathan.
Yep, I'm looking through. Sorry, I don't have any kind of anything that would allow me to figure out what's wrong with him. So
you can still make a roll.
I'm assuming that he's probably doesn't want to be here. So psychology, is that what that would be? Or psychoanalysis.
Or you can talk to
him. I'll try to read him to see what if I can, hopefully not say something stupid.
Okay, make your roll for psychology then.
I'm gonna just look at him and go, "Is something wrong?"
Fail. 56 over 30.
He says, "Why you ask that, miss?"
I don't know. I'm just getting a vibe from you that you're not really happy here.
He says, "Our sheriff died."
That'll do it.
This is the sheriff died in an accident.
That's what we heard. What kind of accident are we talking about?
Roll persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay. This can only... Oh, okay. How about a 3? A hard success under a 10.
Oh, wow.
Well, you surprisingly...
burn a luck and make it extreme.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? I'll burn that 1 luck. Why not?
Oh, goody. He goes, you say to him, you recognize the accent where he's from, and you were able to speak in his words, seem sympathetic. He says, deputy, Sheriff John Cole, when we got that damn radio message, him and Deputy Wilder went up the auto road to the next morning after that call, and when they got close to the summit, the sheriff's car skidded off the road and fell down the side of the mountain, killing the sheriff and the deputy. He says, and their bodies are right behind the station here in the cold house, waiting for the medical examiner from Concord to arrive to announce them dead and take them off. And he says the wreckage is right next to the wreckage of the patrol car is right next to the cold house. And he says, and that's the damn thing, though. He says, the sheriff has made that trip up that auto road many times before, and a lot of worse weather than this. I mean, it's almost unbelievable that he would have had an accident and driven off the road in the middle of the day.
Do you know if perhaps was it a very windy day, just out of curiosity?
No, not down here, but you can never tell up there. It's always windy up there.
Would I have to roll mechanical repair to take a look at the wreck, or can I use
You haven't seen.
perception
You don't
scan?
see the wreck yet.
Well, he said it was around the corner or whatever. He said.
So are you going around to take a look?
When we're done, I wasn't sure what's.
I'll let you, right. It'll be mechanical. Right. It'll be
Oh
mechanical.
crap! Never mind then.
Or spot hidden. Or spot hidden. Doesn't that? It depends on what you're.
Oh yeah, I'll try that then.
Okay. All right. He says, yeah. He says it's pretty sad. The sheriff had a wife and 2 kids.
Do you suspect foul play?
This is. I don't know, sir. I'm gonna wait for the medical examiner to show up.
Well, when's the medical examiner going to be here?
In about 2 days.
I would be happy to do at least a preliminary examination of the body.
I was just going to suggest you're here now. Might as well.
In the meantime, I'd like to look at the wreckage.
He says, well, I'm not sticking around. I'm not sticking around here, so you're more than welcome to take a look, but don't disturb the body or anything.
Of course not.
No.
Wouldn't even dream of it.
This is and like I said, in the morning, Indian Joe here he'll take you up the mountain.
What's his name? Injun Joe?
Yeah, when he says that, you can look at, won't even make a psychology roll. When he says that, you can see the face on the guy. It's like, Jesus, fuck, he called me that again.
I'm going to approach the man, offer him a hand, and say, what's your name, sir? What's your real name?
He says, my name is Joseph Tonamont.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Joseph.
You too. He speaks English good, none of that stuff, but you can definitely tell he's not Caucasian.
Mm-hmm. Joseph, if you don't mind my asking, I hope this isn't a rude question. What tribe are you associated with?
This is around here. There's no real tribes anymore. But my family came from the local tribes of the area.
Essentially from the
what's the Niue.
Niue. I'd like to have a conversation with you later, if that's okay.
Well, I'll be back in the morning, and it's a 2-hour trip up the mountain, so we'll have plenty of time to talk.
Okay, I will talk to you then.
He gets in the car with the deputy, and unless you stop them, they drive off.
We have running water here?
You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
You see,
before they leave, I have some questions.
They drive off. Yeah.
All right.
Where can I take a piss?
Yeah, and they drive off. You see the drivers in the trucks, they're starting to unload stuff, and they're looking at you guys, got a little help?
I'll go help.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm going to take a look at the wreckage.
Okay.
Specifically to look for signs of potential foul play.
Okay, you walk around the back of the rail station, and there's no lights here except a small light inside, so you would have to grab some sort of light source.
All right.
Captain, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go over and take a look at the wreck since the doctor seems to have the body.
I'm gonna say you both grab a lantern and go over. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Doctor, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go and look at the body.
Okay, he said it was in the cold house in the back of the main station. You would know that cold house means the cold storage house, where trains back in the old days, they used to keep meats and stuff in there, so before they made here perishable goods weighted transport are kept. All right, so Amanda Jones, what are you doing?
I'm going to look at the wreckage. This is great for my writing.
Great. We got 3 people looking at the wreckage, and Professor Miles, you said you were helping unload the rest of the truck.
Yeah, I'm going to help unload, and then I'm going to join the doctor because I'm interested in seeing the body too.
Okay, let's go to the wreckage first. That's the first thing you see. You go around the corner, and what you see is a patrol car that's mangled in a twisted wreck. It's been dragged here and left. It does look like it's tore up. Going to the captain first. What are you doing?
Well, the obvious thing to start with would be the exterior to see if there's any kind of unnatural looking damage that I wouldn't imagine should be there for, like, if there's explosions or
So
scratches and
you
things like
okay?
that.
So you're just looking for marks or something. Okay, go ahead and take
To start, yeah.
take a spot hidden roll.
I don't see shit. 87 over whatever.
It's pretty dark and it looks like a beat up car. Detective Cobb, what are you doing?
Judge,
Huh?
I was going to look for anything that sounds like tampering, but from the way you described it, seems very obvious that something attacked this car.
Okay, detective, because you're a detective, you could tell that no one could have survived how this car was twisted and mangled. Do you have mechanical repair skill?
I have a 10.
Yeah, don't even roll. You can roll the spot hidden though.
Is that the blue or the green dice?
You're gonna run a roll that the blue die, I believe. I'm
The
sorry.
blue gives you, the purple gives you 3. You need to roll the green.
Green. Sorry, green. Sorry. Roll the green, please.
Oh.
Unless you want to take the first of that roll she did.
Well,
24.
well. Yeah, just roll the green, please. Failed. Yeah, you can't really tell anything. It's something strange. You're probably gonna need a mechanic to look at this car. All right, Jones, what are you doing?
Would I have any better skill to look at this car because I write murder mysteries all the time? So, like, would I be able to look at it with?
What does your sheet say?
I want to use. No, it would be like.
You might be able to approach this with a more creative mindset.
Well,
AFK, 1 sec.
The detective is probably the best person to look for stuff like that because he's actually a real detective. So
I have a 30 in mechanical.
Roll your mechanical.
Oh.
Roll your mechanical. You roll a 35. Do you want to spend luck?
How much luck do I have?
You have 65.
Yep, I do.
How much do you want to spend?
I'm gonna spend and make it a success. 5.
Just 5. Okay. You want to spend. All right. So, you're looking at the hood of the car. It seems to have taken some puncture damage that doesn't seem to correspond with the actual crash.
Okay.
All right, that's what you guys are looking at. Back to the coal house. Chris, I'm going to just say you caught up with the doctor in the coal house to go into the coal house. Approximately 30 yards from the main station lies the Marshfield Station cold storage house. At present, it is also doubling as a makeshift morgue holding the bodies of Sheriff John Cole and Deputy Walker until the coroner can make his way up from the state capitol to sign the death certificates and verify the cause of death. You open the door and you see 2 slabs, basically empty except for 2 slabs, and on the slabs are what looks like bodies under sheets. What do you do?
I'll examine the closest body.
Okay. You pull the sheet back, and you can tell, and I'll just give you this. You could tell based on what he's wearing, he was probably the deputy. He was probably the sheriff.
Okay.
He is mangled. It's the mangled remains of looks like a major auto crash victim. Because you are a doctor, I am not going to make you roll. But, Professor, please roll a sanity check, please.
Okay.
Doctor, you don't have to roll because you've seen messed up bodies before.
It's a 96 over 86. Damn it.
That's a big deal.
You almost hurl. In fact, you do hurl your lunch and you lose 1 sanity point.
I look at the professor and say,
you see his spit. He's just let to go all on the floor.
Afraid of the dark, Professor?
Not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what caused this.
And by the way, it is dark in here, and it is very cold in here, and the only light in here is the 2 lanterns you are holding between yourselves.
Well, pull yourself together and bring that lantern over here and hold it so I can see.
I scowl at him and I hold the lantern up. Listen, you may not have a respect for me, but I have a respect for you. All I ask is for mutual respect.
I don't disrespect you. I just think you're.
I don't disrespect.
I don't agree with like with no evidence. You've just gone, completely off the reservation, so to speak.
Really? You're going to make an Indian joke at a time like this?
All right.
Mr. Thieluk. Anyway.
Would it be medicine guy?
Huh?
Would it be medicine?
Because you have your medical bag with you, you do get an advantage die there too.
Is that the green one?
Yeah, I guess.
Guess not.
Um.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so 430.
Let's say the 46 is. I mean, the 46 is. It's not. I know what they're doing here. Don't worry about that. The 46. It would be 44. You made it. What's your value? You made a regular success. Would you like to spend some luck with that?
To make it a hard, is it 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
Any more luck?
I'll make it a hard success.
Just a hard? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Here's what you notice. For the body here. The sheriff has suffered many broken bones and a caved-in skull. The body suffered massive blunt trauma that matches with a major auto accident. But the body seemed to have stiffened unusually, have suffered unusual laceration. I wrote this and I can't even pronounce the words. Lacerations on the chest. That doesn't seem to coincide with the other injuries. Also, and this is taking you about 30 minutes, by the way. So it's getting cold. Also, the cause of death was blunt trauma to the head from the auto accident, but the lacerations to the chest area seem to have taken place before the actual accident.
I was just getting ready to ask that. Did the doctor would be able to tell that?
Okay. That was 30 minutes. Back to the wrecked car. It's been about 30 minutes. You guys looking around. You found what you found. What are you doing now? Hello?
Yeah. Is there anything in, can we look in glove compartments and stuff?
Are you gonna bring up the puncture things?
When we get back.
No. You're talking about the car.
Oh.
Yeah. That would be you, Danny.
Am I gonna bring what? I'm sorry?
Are you gonna bring up the puncture things?
The puncture marks on the
Oh, absolutely. I definitely would share that with you guys.
I'm gonna look at these. So these look like they're... Do they look man-made?
No.
Make a spot hidden again, and you want to get extreme success.
It's just a regular success.
You can spend luck if you want.
I don't know what it would... If it'd be worth it at this point.
It's a lot of luck.
Yeah, that's a lot of luck.
Yeah, that's 25 luck.
Right. You really can't tell because the car is too banged up, and you just, it's not something that, even though you're a detective, it's really hard to tell if those marks or anything. You see the marks you're just talking about, but you can't really tell based on how the truck is. I mean, how the vehicle is. Like I said, it's 30 minutes. Are you guys staying here, or are you doing something else?
Joe, back in the, I guess out of character, back in the 20s, would there have been some sort of fingerprint kit / DNA searching type thing?
No, there would not have been.
Flashlight?
There would not have been a DNA or searching fingerprints
Was
possible, but
infancy.
yeah, but being that you are kind of a crime writer, you know that this car, there's no way you're going to pull any real good fingerprints off this car. It's been dragged through. Dozens of people have probably touched it since then. You're not going to pull any fingerprints off this.
Okay.
Sorry,
In
gang, I'm back.
in the 20s, and I'm sorry, in modern times, you might be able to find something with hair or follicles or something like that, but yeah, you ain't got that here.
Okay.
So it's 30 minutes. What are you guys doing outside? Captain?
I'm waiting for everybody to get back together again, and I guess we'll start heading in and getting ourselves set up
Well,
for
you
the
see the
evening.
drivers have already went inside because it's cold.
Right, so I'm gonna join them and start setting up our
Okay, so
living area, or whatever you want to call it.
okay, the
Since
captains
I was-
went right. The captains went inside. Jones, are you hanging out here or going inside?
I'm gonna follow inside.
Cobb, Sergeant Cobb, are you going to stay out?
Yeah.
Or you going inside?
Not in the cold.
Okay. You go inside. You see, it's pretty much looks like an abandoned. No, I want to say just say a vacant train station. Small train station. It's cold as hell. It doesn't see. There's no working lights. You can tell. Answer your question because the drivers are trying to flip the light switches. There's no working lights going on. And you can see your breath in front of your face. But it's still warmer than being outside. And there is a fireplace.
Can we look around and see if we can find like a fuse box to turn the power on?
Yeah, you can do that. Back to the cold house. All right, that's what you found your first pass. What are you doing?
There were 2 bodies, right?
Yes, there was.
Okay, so I'm gonna check out the second body as well.
Okay. A slightly smaller body. This body seems to be probably the deputy, you figure. It seems to be in a slightly better condition than the sheriff's, believe it or not. Still pretty mangled. You will need to make a medical roll for this, assuming you're doing your autopsy bit. It will take about 30 minutes. And you did really well. Okay, you did very well.
All right.
You had a lot more success with this body than the other one. Like I said, there's a few broken bones, and the body has a arc along the spinal cord column.
It has a what?
An arc, like its arc, his back is like rigor mortis set in, and his back is arced up. The body suffered blunt trauma that matches with a major auto accident, and the deputy back seems to be broken. Also, as you look more, there seems to be a look of terror frozen on the deputy's face. The muscles seem to be hardened in the shape, and that's just not regular rigor mortis. His face actually looks insane. Saint Freer. And something more importantly, the cause of death wasn't blunt force trauma from the accident. It came from a broken back and a snapped spinal column. But the look of terror seems to be out of place. Also, with your extreme success, and this is going to take you the full 30 minutes, the broken back took place prior to the other injuries, the blunt force trauma from the accident.
Mike, are you sharing any of this with me?
Yeah, I'm sharing it with you because I'm actually taking notes of all of this.
And actually, you're looking at Mike's face, and as a doctor, you see his face grows a bit concerned as he's cutting in a little bit and feeling around, and then doing what doctors do, and you actually hear him go, "How can that be?"
Is there still blood in the victims?
Yeah, it's pulled. Yeah.
Okay. So I asked him, I'm like, Doctor, if this was a car accident, why does the sheriff have these wounds, and why does this deputy have his back broken? He died in a car accident.
Well, I'm more concerned with the possible with the wounds that were inflicted before the time of death.
That's that's what I'm saying.
That's more in line with an animal attack than anything else. This is the White Mountains.
Doc, roll a knowledge roll, intelligence roll on that one.
Intelligence?
No, education. Roll the education roll.
Education.
Yeah. Hard, very good. You're not sure about the animal attack part because you're trying to rack your mind what animal could break his back like this.
Well, I was just going to say, this is the White Mountains. There are bears.
Yes, but
it's rare. It is rare, but perhaps they, stumbled upon a,
But if it's hibernating, though, if it's starting to try to hibernate,
well, then perhaps they disturbed it, and that's why it was angry. I don't know that, but these are claw marks of some sort. I would have to defer to someone to a doctor who was more or had more experience with animal attacks. But it appears to me that they were on the mountain. They were attacked by spooked an animal, and the deputy was trying to, the sheriff got wounded. The deputy was trying to get him down, and they had the car accident, which finally killed both of them.
So you believe that broken back happened from the car accident?
If it happened aside from the car accident, then perhaps the deputy was wounded and the sheriff and they were both wounded, and the sheriff was able to get him back to the car. I don't know who was driving. That we would need to find that out as well. But a broken back in a car accident sounds perfectly reasonable and legitimate.
Joe, is there any kind of occult roll you can do on these bodies?
What are you looking for?
I guess any kind of signs of, like, I don't know, something out of the ordinary. Either if I can, like, pick up on some kind of, like, odd energy, or, like, I don't know, like...
roll occult.
Okay. It's 37 under 6.
No odd energy or anything, but the frozen look of terror on the deputy's face just seems off.
Mm-hmm. I look at the doctor and I say, we have our differences, and I, respect your evaluation of the bodies. That being said, this deputy afraid when he died. So then they just cliff.
I'm sure if you were in a vehicle that went over the edge and crashed, I'm sure you would have a look of terror as well.
I need more evidence to...
Hey, Chris, you're breaking up a little bit.
I said I need more evidence to be sure, but I'll trust your judgment.
All right, back to the rail station. You are looking around. You find the fuse switch, but that doesn't. All the fuses are there. You figure that, and you're talking with the truck drivers. They pretty much cut the power to the station. Someone cut the power to the station, probably at the transformers or something like that. So chances of getting power to the building itself is not likely. But you did find a stove, a heater stove. So you can get some heat inside if you wish. Captain Jones, Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get some heat inside if you wish.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So you get the stove working. It's getting a little cozy. It's getting a little warm there. The you can see the drivers. They're setting up their bedrolls, finding benches. All of you are very tired. It was a long trip, and it is cold. It's after 11 o'clock now. By the way, the doctor and Professor Miles have been gone for almost an hour now. What are you guys going to do?
I don't know about that, but I'm going to bed because
Okay.
I want to stay warm, so I'm
You
gonna.
guys all have bed rolls. You have bed rolls, and once you get into the bed roll, it's pretty comfy.
Is there like a kitchen of some kind?
No, there wouldn't be a kitchen in here. No.
All right. Is there firewood for the fire?
Yes, there is firewood.
I'm gonna make a fire.
Okay. And like I say, it gets warmer, better than being outside. Doctor and Professor, are you heading back, or are you gonna stay out in the cold?
Yeah, it's getting kind of a little uncomfortably cold.
Right.
So
yeah, you are filling yourselves. In a few minutes, you go in. You can feel the nice warmth of the railroad station, and you see everyone in there. Everyone's spotted out their own little bench and put their sleeping bag on, and you can see Jones has actually started a fire in the stove, and people are looking like they're settling down to get some sleep, and you're realizing it's after 11, and you guys been on the road for 7 hours, and you're getting pretty sleepy yourself. What do you do?
find my bedroll and
Okay.
find a place near the stove, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys start to drift off to go to sleep. Unless you guys are going to do anything before you go to sleep.
No, I'm good.
Go ahead, Zoe.
Zoe?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna skim through my book, my Native American legend book for.
You're gonna. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna ask.
You
I'm
guys-
gonna ask. Sorry.
I'm gonna skim through the Native American legend book I brought with me a little bit before I go to bed.
Okay, that's all right. All right, good.
I want to ask the doctor what he found on the bodies.
It appears that it's my opinion that the sheriff and the deputy were involved in some sort of some altercation with an animal, a large animal of some sort. Whether without further investigation, I can't determine the actual cause, but either the sheriff was attacked and the deputy got him back and had his back broken in the car accident, which ultimately killed both of them, or the deputy was attacked by a large animal which broke his back. The sheriff was also wounded, but not so much to the point where he couldn't get the deputy back to the car, at which point in there, due to blood loss and panic and fear, they were involved in the accident, which ultimately killed both of them.
Okay.
That's my professional opinion.
On the car there were marks on the hood that kind of looked like they could have been claw marks.
How
So
big were they?
They were puncture holes.
I've never heard of a bear or anything like that attacking a vehicle, not a black bear anyway.
It was a man bear pig.
Man bear.
No.
So it's too dark and too cold to go examine that now. Maybe if we have time later, we can examine that again. But
Measure the claw marks to the puncture wounds.
so yeah, I think it's possible that they got into something over their head, and they may have disturbed a hibernating bear, or
Something
I
was.
don't know.
Because of how much traveling and adventuring I do, would I know what a bear paw looks like?
Wolves still
No, you
were around.
You would need to roll a natural history.
Okay.
Oh.
Natural world.
Natural world, sorry, yes.
So can you roll it for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
Okay.
done.
I hit it twice.
Okay, Doctor.
Oh.
I don't know if you want to. Okay, Doctor.
The first one was a 12.
Right. Well, the first one was a 12, and
Oh no, that's Chris.
yeah, that's
that
Chris. Yeah.
That
wasn't
for,
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was me. I thought I hit it
No,
twice.
Doctor, you know this natural world. You don't know of any animal in this part of the world that could do that type of damage if it was them. You do know there are black bears and there are wolves in this area, but they rarely go too much further up up these higher mountains. There's just no prey up there for them. And you've seen bear marks and bear attacks before. You have. You're a disease specialist, but you've seen certain things.
As a disease specialist, it's possible.
And I'm just telling you this. I'm not saying this out loud.
Possibly rabies.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's what with your natural world. If it was an animal, the attacks marks don't look like any animal in this part of the world. If it is an animal, you're not 100% sure of that. As for you, Jones, you have no idea.
Okay.
So, as you guys are discussing, you can hear people snoring and falling asleep. Unless you guys are going to say anything else. Nope.
No, I'm
No,
good.
I should probably.
Okay. People are falling asleep. Everyone roll a power roll, please. Everyone.
Okay. So, let's see.
Ooh, Doctor, you fell. Ooh. Who's that? Is that Danny or Chris?
That's me.
Oh.
Yeah, my power's a 90. Danny.
I
Dan.
might burn the luck to make that a success.
I wouldn't advise it. No. You don't have to.
It's 4 luck.
Okay. No, you got a success. All right.
Look at the two extremes. I got a 3, you got an 80.
Okay. Here's what happens. You guys are asleep. It's comfy in your sleeping bags. And you start to dream. And you know you're dreaming. As you're dreaming, and this is happening to all of you, and to people who made your rolls, I will let you know what else happens. But you're dreaming, and you're dreaming that for some reason you're back perhaps 450 years ago in this area, perhaps in this exact same spot. You just feel that that's what's happening. You know how dreams are sometimes. There's nothing that tells you where you are, but you know where you are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So, and you're surrounded by an Indian tribe. It looks like a Native American tribe. And in a sort of surreal vision, you can see that the whole land around you have different tribes, and for some reason you know that there's five. They're all Abenaki, but there's five different clans of Abenaki, five different groups, if you will. And they sort of, if it over superimposed view, you can almost see that it stretches all over this part of upper northern New Hampshire, different tribes. You could see almost a vision of five Native American chieftains of the tribes, wizened old men who crave power. You also see the mountain, Mt.Washington, in the background. It feels almost like a living thing. And you can feel that the five tribesmen, and like I said, this is all very abstract. The five tribesmen are looking at the mountain, and the mountain is talking to them in their heads. It's telling them that they can have power. They can conquer their other tribes. The spirit of the mountains will do this for them. It will give them warriors that cannot be defeated, braves that will know no defeat in battle. And you could see inside the heads of the five tribal leaders, they're dreaming of conquest of the southern tribes, and conquest of their own tribes, each one individually. And the mountain is telling them, if only thing you have to do, I will turn your children into the greatest warriors that this land has ever seen. The more children, I will turn each one into an individual warrior. And the mountain says, send the children to me, and I will do this for you. As many warriors as you want, as many children as you want. And you can see the greed and avarice of the leaders rising. And the mountain says, make sure you send more than your fellow tribe, your fellow tribe leader, because you don't want them to have more warriors than you do. And you can see the envy and the fear rise up in tribal leaders. And then suddenly in the vision, you see what looks like figures. They're tall, look like Native American medicine men figures. You can't really make out their faces very well. They seem to be shifting in and out. You can see them talking, trying to talk to the leaders, these tribal leaders, saying, no, don't believe this. This is not true. No one can give you this. You're endangering the tribe. You're endangering the children. And you can also see that the leaders aren't paying attention to the medicine men. Their greed and their avarice and their fear that the other tribes will overtake them wins out, and the medicine men know this. There's five of them, and you can see them fade back and talk amongst themselves. You can see that the five tribal leaders are gathering children, as many as they can get in their tribes, to take a pilgrimage up to the mountain. What you see is the mountain is telling the tribal leaders, send them. It doesn't matter if they're female. There will be great female warriors too. It doesn't matter their age. Send me the children. So you see a parade or a pilgrimage up to the summit by these five tribal leaders. By the five tribal leaders and a group of warriors, and they're taking the children up in a line. It looks like they have several hundred children. They're almost depleted the whole tribal area of children. Children as young as 4 and as old as 15. Boys and girls are going up this mountain. And you can see as they go up the mountain to the summit, you can see that the five medicine men are following them from a distance, keeping out of the view and following them up the mountain. And then you guys, and let's see, Chris.
Yes.
You wake up.
Okay.
I'm sorry, before you wake up. As the children are going up the mountain, you can see that they're being marked with blue paint on one side of their face. War paint, whatever. They're just smearing the one side of their face with blue. And all these one-sided blue children, hundreds of them, are being led up the mountain by the 5 tribes leaders and a group of warriors. Now, Chris, you wake up.
Okay.
You feel cold. You feel anguish. You feel like there's a sense of you feel like there's a sense of resign. Like somebody's got. You feel like a sense of resign that whatever you do, you know that you have to make a sacrifice. That's the only way to save everyone. You have to make a sacrifice. You know what to do. And when you wake up, you feel something greasy on your hand, and you look down and you see what looks like some sort of grease paint, a blue grease paint.
Huh.
Nathan,
Ooh.
Captain.
Yep.
Yeah, you wake up, you feel a sense of foreboding, a sense of I've gotta save these children, but it's going to cost me my life. And you wake up, no grease paint or anything. And everyone else wakes up. It's morning. You can see that the drivers are already starting to pack. It's early morning. Starting from Chris, what do you do?
I wake up with this paint on my hand?
Yeah, not a lot of it, just a little bit on your fingers, which is freaking you the hell out because it's the same paint you saw in your dream.
Okay. I'm going to go to the captain because he woke up right after me.
No. Yes, he did. Yes, sorry.
Yeah. And I'm going to look at him and show him my fingers with this paint and say, please tell me you saw the same thing I did.
Oh yeah, and for some reason, I have this really odd feeling, this foreboding feeling that for these kids to be saved, I have to give up my life. I don't know if it's my personal life or the life whose eyes I was looking through in this dream.
I get the same feeling that there's some kind of sacrifice that whatever's going on there. But this literally backs everything I was talking about. There's no way in hell I'll
Sorry, Chris, you broke up again. You broke up.
Sorry. I said, I feel the same, that there's going to be some kind of sacrifice that's going to stop this. There's no way in hell we didn't all experience this. Actually, I'm going to saunter over to the doctor.
The doctor's waking up? Yeah.
And I'm going to say, so how'd you sleep?
As well as could be expected. Had a weird dream. It was...
Did it happen to be a dream involving multiple native tribes bringing children up a mountain with blue face paint?
Do I remember that level?
You remember it. You just don't have the feeling. You don't have that feeling, the intensity that those kids
I remember something along those lines. Yes, it was. It was a dream.
I'm gonna show him my hand with the face paint. It'd be like paint like this.
I don't know. Possibly. What's your point?
I woke up with this on me. I had the same dream. The captain had the same dream. You had the same dream. I can guarantee, Miss Jones.
I'm sure we didn't have the same dream. I'm sure it was just a set. I mean, we spent all day yesterday talking about Native Americans and coming to the mountain. It was all in our minds. That's what we dreamed about.
Miss Jones, what did you dream about?
Well, I just dreamed about the mountain and these kids, and it just feels like there's some bad stuff happening on this mountain. But I think that my dream might have been a really great writing idea. I have such a good imagination.
That's good. That's good. Detective, what did you dream about?
Oh, the same as the rest of you.
To the man with only a hammer for a tool, everything looks like a nail.
Everything's a nail, Doctor? When we all experience the same thing.
I told you.
Who's the hammer in this metaphor?
We spent all day traveling and coming to, and discussing ancient Native American tribes. And we came to this mountain, and it's been a long night, and no one really slept real well. We've got a job to do. Let's get on with it. You're going on and on about a trip.
One of the drivers say, "Hey, that engineer is here."
Okay. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna slyly give the doctor the finger as I go outside. I'm gonna meet with Joseph and shake his hand. And I'm gonna say, Joseph, do you know anything about any kind of legends about this mountain?
What do you mean by legends?
Sorry, I got food in my mouth. Do you know anything, any of your family's legends or myths or ancestry about anything concerning this mountain? Any kind of old tales that were told? Anything?
No, not really. Just don't go up there. That's what we've been told.
Why?
It's supposed to be the burial. It's supposed to be the place where spirits are concealed. That's the name. Cthulhu. It's the place. The problem is I wrote this and I can't even pronounce the stuff I write. The place of the concealed one, and it's considered bad to go there. But my tribe didn't actually inhabit this area. This was the area of the Abenaki.
Okay.
Who's that?
For me.
No?
Okay, here we go. I can hear you. I can hear you guys now.
Oh, yes.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
That was weird. Okay. So, let's go back to that. He says, my tribe actually didn't inhabit this area. We're further south towards Massachusetts.
Does the word Wendigo mean anything to you, Joseph?
It's a story, a boogeyman that Native American mothers tell their children to make them scared and go to bed.
Interesting. I apologize for delaying you, Joseph. I have some relative questions. Don't mind.
This is, the train is ready. I've got it ready, so anytime you guys are ready to go, we should go.
Well, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
As am I.
Okay, so you guys pack up. You pack up. The drivers are not coming with you, by the way. They pack up your cold weather gear on the train, and you can look at the train on one of the pictures and see how it looks. And he says it'll take about 2 hours to get up there. And he says, "Have you ever been on the cog rail before?"
No.
He says it can be an interesting experience. We'll be going at a pretty steep incline as we go up. He says the train basically is pulled up under its own weight on the cogs, so that's why we don't slide back down. He says, "Let's go." All right. Unless
I hop in the train.
Okay, unless anyone's going to do anything. You guys get on the train, and it chunk. It's early in the morning. You figure it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Air is cold and brisk, but you can see pretty clear for about halfway up the mountain. As you're going up, you can definitely see half of the mountain is covered in a shroud of fog and clouds. So you guys are trucking up the mountain. Are you guys doing anything?
Out of character, Mike, how
Yeah.
is it every time you and I play a game, we always find the roles that cooperative bitch at each other?
You guys are gold, by the way. I mean, I want to, you guys are gold. I love it, by the way.
I think it's just our play style.
Yep.
Give me more.
I was gonna say, if you listen very closely, you hear a whistle. It sounds like the X-Files thing.
Right?
All right, so you guys, you get about the first half an hour, and you've had this fear of heights or anything. This is getting you a little bit. You guys get up there. It says, what do you? Joseph says, what do you expect to find up there?
Truth be told, I don't know. I know what I'm not to.
He says, why are they sending you people?
Supposedly, we're the best at. That man saying discreetly investigate.
Strange. This is
So-
I saw the research team when they went up, and actually they came down once and went back up on the rail. They seem to be nice people, friendly. This is yes. They especially the leader, the Dr. Franklin and her husband Liam, and the rest of them seem to got along pretty well.
Joe, do I know either of the Franklins? Do I know of them or know them personally?
You would know. Yes, you do know their story. Because you were working in that area. You know what you know of them. You know that your Mead knows them really well. Professor Mead knows really well. But what you do know is that Mariah Franklin, or Mariah Littlewolf Franklin, is a half Canadian, half Native American, a woman who is the assistant dean of archaeology at Miskatonic University. She is married to a gentleman by the name of Liam Franklin, who is he's sort of a debutante, but he does have his master's degree from Miskatonic in archaeology. They met when he was a student there, and they fell in love and got married. Much to the chagrin of his family, who is one of the Franklins are one of the more affluent families in Boston. The fact that a half-blooded woman, no matter how accomplished, was joining the family did cause a great deal of problems for them in the beginning. But Mariah seems to have won them out, and even though there's still snickers behind their backs every now and then, Liam doesn't really, he knows not to care or something like that. That's all you really know about them.
Okay.
Okay. About an hour goes by. It's chunk, 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 chunk. The train is still moving. Hour and a half. You're deep into cloud cover now, and you can't see in front of you for the most part. You can't see more than 10 feet in front of you in the cloud cover now. It's distinctly colder at this point now. You see Joseph grab a blanket and goes, "Wow, this is unusual."
Is it too cold for you?
He says, "This is a little cold. It's cold up here, but this is even colder than normal."
Is it windy or just cold?
There is a wind blowing. It's not too windy,
Oh,
but there is a wind blowing.
At a game, you guys do know that Mt.Washington is the location of the highest recorded wind on the planet.
234.
I know.
234 miles per hour.
Oh my.
And there are signs on the mountain now that if you start hiking up it, it says if you're not prepared for a drastic change of weather, turn around now because you will die.
It's not a joke. It's definitely not a joke up there. Okay, so as you're getting closer and closer, you're actually starting to see make out a building as you're starting to get up to the summit up here. Of course, I don't have the picture of it. And Joseph is saying, "We're almost there.
Wonderful.
He says, um, he says, we're going to pull into the station and give me a second to tie everything down.
I triple check all my gear and everything to make
Okay.
sure I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so what do you guys do before you hit bottom?
I'm going to make sure all my cold weather gear is all set. Make sure I have the bag of dust on a belt along with the 38 that I was going
Okay. You definitely it's cold, but you guys like Fred said, you guys got cold weather gear. It's not you guys can handle the cold for right now, as bad as it is. As you guys are making it up there, you see this through the cloud. The tip top.
Okay.
You're going to be at the very bottom of that walkway there, and there's a train station. There's a station that's in there like that. The train
Cool.
finally comes to a halt. Joseph said, "This is it. This is the end of the line."
All right.
In the station, you see a lone figure, bundled from head to toe in cold weather gear. What do you do?
Are they moving?
Nope, they're just looking at the train.
Oh, cool. That's not suspicious.
Okay.
It's not spooky.
Well, I
Um,
guess I'll be polite and greet him.
Okay, you get off the train. All right. You walk up to him and shake his hand. You could tell it's a man or the tall fellow. And he says, "Hello, my name is Nick Hond, logistics specialist for the Mount.Washington expedition. I'm so glad you've come."
Nick Pond.
Nick Hahn, Hahn.
Okay. And he's the logistics specialist?
Linguistics.
Linguistics.
Yes. He says, "I am so glad you came. Will you follow me?"
Absolutely.
This is
What kind of work would a linguistics specialist do on an expedition such as this?
I specialize in ancient linguistics, glyphs and ruins and so forth like that.
Have you-
You understand?
So have you seen the artifacts that were brought back by or sent back by Professor Franklin?
Yes, of course.
So what do you make out the glyphs or whatever they are in the parchments to be?
We really should get inside.
Okay.
Joseph says, "I'm going to stay here with the train."
I'm not going to argue. I'm going to get inside.
Okay,
All right.
you guys. All right, you guys head towards the actual building, and there's snow on the ground here, just flat. But as you're getting closer to the building, what you see is there seems to be a shroud of fog extending maybe a 1,000 yards in each direction away from the building itself. And that's where we're here now. And we're transition there. All right. You're heading. This is the main building here. This is the main building here, and you guys are heading up from here. Come on up. You guys are heading up from here. Oh, come on, stop that, Nate.
What did I do?
No, your picture. It wasn't you. You guys are heading up from there.
Damn it, Nate.
He says, "We're so glad you're here. We were so concerned."
Concerned about what?
The murder, of course.
I'm sorry.
What murder? The murder of the deputy.
I don't know what you're talking about, deputy. I'm talking about the murder of Dr. Franklin.
I'm sorry. Dr. Franklin's been
I'm sorry, not Dr. Franklin. My mistake. Liam Franklin, the doctor's
Are
husband.
you sure it's a murder?
Oh, yes, of course. Just come in.
Well,
You
hang on.
guys. Hmm?
Why didn't you bring? If that's the case, why didn't the rest of you, come down the mountain?
Well, we'll show you. Let us explain. Come in, please.
I have my eyebrow arched as high as I can go with it, with this air of suspicion that will never go away.
Okay. You can go with that. Let's go with that. All right. You go inside. I assume that unless someone's not going inside.
I'm going inside.
Okay.
I'm already
I'm going inside.
Everyone's going inside. Okay, great. All right. So we go inside. You guys are coming in from the door here. There's a door here. Believe it or not. This is the way it looks. If I can find my pictures. You always think you had the thing with Roll20 and all these virtual tabletops. I always think I'm prepared until I go, oh, there was one more picture I should have got. Anyway, well, we'll just skip that. You go inside. It looks like a rustic bungalow, rustic building with your typical top, your stove and etc. It's quite warm, and you get to. Let me get another color. I hate that color. You get to about right here, and you see 6 men standing in a semicircle as you come in the door. And they close the door. It closes the door behind you and says, "Gentlemen, I'm sorry, 5 people. 5 people." It says, Hans says, "Gentlemen, these are the people. These are the people here to help us." And you see they all look at you.
Do they respond?
Yeah, they look at you.
Huh.
We're from what our let us start telling you what happened. About 2 nights ago, we were awakened to screams and arguments. And we heard the voices of Mariah, that would be Professor Franklin, and her husband, Liam Franklin. They've been arguing for about a month now over marital things. But the argument 2 nights ago got violent, jealous, rage. And then, next thing you know, Mariah stabbed Liam in the chest. In the back. And then ran out into the wilderness.
Who sent the radio message?
Oh, that must have been Liam just before he died. Of course, we're extrapolating a lot of this. Most of us were asleep at the time.
Has anyone seen Mariah since then?
No. And she took the artifacts with her.
Can I do a psychology roll on him? See if he's telling the.
Sure.
I know my psychology's a 10.
Can I psychology him?
Oh, that's a 2. That's an extreme.
Wow.
You're not picking up anything on him.
Nothing.
Is there a? There's the.
In fact, you notice that he's not sweating. He's not. He's as calm as can be, and it's almost there's no ticks. There's no nothing. This is not saying he's not lying. It's just that there's no gives.
Huh.
How long have you been on the mountain?
We've been here since September. Yes.
And it's
a month. About a month. Yes.
a month.
You see them nod. Yes. About a month.
Have there been regular visitors to the mountain during that time?
Oh,
Or
no.
have you been up here by yourself?
No visitors. It's just us doing our work and our research. Do you
Can I
want to
make an
see?
observation roll?
Do you want to see the body?
Eventually, yes, absolutely.
Huh. What'd
Yeah,
you say, Nate?
the observation roll. Go ahead, Nick. What do you want to
Can I
observe?
do a spot hidden to see if I can see their hands and see if they're, if they said they've been working up here, so I don't, and they're archaeological digs or what exactly are they doing?
Yeah, archaeological digs.
I want to see if their hands look like archaeologists or,
Yeah, sure.
just,
Go make a roll.
of
Oh,
course not.
You're not sure. Most of them got gloves or some sort of finger things on. You're not hard to tell.
Um, aside from the unpleasantness with Mariah and her husband,
Yes, we're concerned about Professor Mariah. We believe it was a fit of passion, a crime of passion. We're concerned, and really, we want her back.
of course, we all do. Uh, but
But we
well, I
fear
can guarantee Liam doesn't.
But we fear the worst because the temperatures outside. It's been 2 nights, and the temperatures outside has dropped well below zero. And
Oh.
and from what we could tell, she ran out with nothing but a light jacket.
Oh, she's dead.
It's a nice day for a God again.
would you mind if I gave you and all just because you've been up here for so long, just a sort of a brief physical, just to make sure that everyone's healthy and.
Of course, we do not mind your physical. And they kind of look at each other. But don't you think it's more concerning to see if Professor Franklin is in danger?
Well, you said it's been 2 days, and she let out a man of science. It's if she didn't go down the mountain, she didn't go down the mountain to the train.
We're sure she didn't do that.
Then it's highly unlikely. This, unless she was somehow able to find some sort of shelter.
That's what we believe is possible. Not to mention, she does have the artifacts.
I'm gonna get.
Oh, artifacts?
Excuse me?
Artifacts?
Yes.
The artifacts. Well,
Yes.
so my concern is right now with the health of you who are here with me, and just to make sure that everyone is in good standing, and then we can, if something unfortunate has happened to Dr. Franklin, I don't mean to sound blunt, but us rushing to find her dead now is not going to be any different than us going to find her dead in a half an hour from now.
May I make a suggestion? Perhaps, Doctor, you can do your physical here with us, and the rest of you can search for Dr. Franklin.
All right. I'm gonna get really close to the doctor and just kind of whisper in his ear. Something doesn't wait.
I'm just going to pat him. I'm going to pat him back,
Mm-hmm.
but the manner in which I do, I understand what you're saying, and in fact, I'll turn around and say, I fear. I'm going to excuse myself from what's his name, Nick.
Nick,
Mr. Hahn, excuse me for one moment, and I'm going to step aside with the professor and say, have you ever heard of the term cabin fever?
Of course.
It's happens to those in extreme isolation. That's what I fear is sort of going on here. I want to give these people a quick, just a few rudimentary tests just to see if they're make sure that everyone is mentally up to snuff. I'm sure they're physically fine, but I need if you as a professor, as another man of science, I would would you assist me with that?
I would.
I don't. If there is some level of, dare I say, madness here,
Mhm.
I don't want to be alone with this group.
I get real
Yeah.
close to him and I whisper, "Raise you, ludicrous as it sounds. Out of game, I have a 35 in hypnosis."
But see, I don't know that.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm
metagaming.
trying to think of how to describe that in game.
That's
There may
metagaming.
be. Okay, so in game, I don't like the idea. I agree with you, and I will help you in this. I don't like the idea of you being by yourself, especially as they seem adamant.
And
that
by the way,
all-
they're looking at you as you guys are whispering, by the way.
I'm just going. Last thing, are you familiar with hypnosis?
Are you saying that to them?
I'm saying it to
me,
the doctor whispered.
I'm aware of it as far as a parlor trick, and that there has been some legitimate study done into the act of. So
Friends. You see, Holt says, "I believe that Mariah still may be alive if we act now."
Very well. We have with us.
But we're acting as a group.
We have with us a detective and a former military man who I'm sure is quite skilled at tracking. Are you not, Captain?
Excellent.
I've had my fair share of events I've had to engage in.
So perhaps say some members of your group could go and help guide them and help search the mountain for the doctor.
I'm afraid that would be quite impossible. For we're men of science, and we would not be any useful. And perhaps we would probably be a hindrance to a true tracker.
I'm sorry, you misunderstand. But you are familiar.
I'm afraid you misunderstand, sir. As I said, that would be quite impossible.
I'm going to roll psychology on that.
Please do.
Come on, so roll high.
Nope.
Burn the six.
I can make that a success.
I'm not.
What are you trying to find with your psychology?
These people are very insistent that we must split up, but that they can't come with us.
You're not really getting that. That's not what you're getting.
How many of them are there?
Altogether, there is 6.
Okay. All I am suggesting is that because you've been up here long, and on the dig site for the expedition to find the artifacts and such, you're familiar with the area. I'm not suggesting that you actually tried to find.
We attempted to look. Like as I said, it was useless. If you're coming up to help us, then help us. Find Mariah.
Right. So
you are wasting time.
Can I look at them in the eye, and do they have the 8-mile stare to them? Like, are they there?
Roll psychology.
I don't like the way he said. Nice.
There's something that's giving you a bad feeling. You don't know what it is. It's not like they have an 8-mile stare. They're not like zombified or anything like that. They are animated. But there's just something you cannot put your finger on it.
Who else has out of character? Who else has weapons? I didn't know who had weapons.
I have
weapons.
I have a weapon.
Okay,
the doctor has no weapons.
Who am I in proximity to?
You're proximity to everyone. You guys are doing what they're doing.
Okay.
My weapon is my mind.
I'm gonna kind of.
Cool.
I
I'll show
want to
your
kind of
to a
shift
38
behind someone, not like
I
make
just
it
want to remind
obvious, but
everyone. I just want to remind you're not playing pulp. You're not playing pulp. Just want to remind everyone.
That's why my weapon is my mind. I'm gonna shoot
I
my.
feel necessary to remind people of that. All right.
oh yeah, I just want to know the layout of the room and who's going to be where, and I just want to make sure that if something happens, we all have,
Well,
clear line of fire.
You're in that area, right? You're in the area where the yellow is.
Okay.
And you guys are more, like I said, you guys are pretty spread out, right? Oh, wait a minute. Let me get another color. Take the green. You guys are just like lined up back against the door, more or less, right here, and they're more or less, semicircle around you right here. So he says, "You're wasting time."
Well, as you stated, it's possible. It's possible.
We will be more than happy to submit ourselves to your physical, but we really need to look for Mariah.
And we will. The physical will be quite quick. Will take no time at all. In fact, we could have already been completed with it had you just allowed me to proceed. But as you stated, that Dr. Franklin may have found shelter, and if she has, then she's as safe as houses right now.
No.
And if she didn't find shelter, then she will have passed.
She could be dying out there while you talk.
Not after 2 days in this temperature. It is medically impossible.
I'm not even going to make you make a side roll, but you can see this person is getting very annoyed with you. You can see it in his eyes. He just like, it's almost as if he had an axe, he would just hit you with the axe.
I'm going to step forward and I'm going to say, what's more of a pressing concern to you right now? The doctor or the artifacts?
He smiles a little bit. Well, of course, Mariah.
Uh-huh. What did you find?
Oh, we found something very interesting. We'd be more than glad to show it to you.
No, you can tell me. What did you find?
We find evidence of an ancient and old beings of great power, superior beings.
Superior beings?
Yes.
You know what? You've convinced me. Come on, group. I think we should go look for Dr. Franklin.
Yeah, but we're not leaving you here.
I'm not. Oh, I'm coming with you. I no longer wish to be in the vicinity of these people.
They say, would you like if we can provide you any help?
What? Wait a minute.
Do you have lanterns?
Wait, stop.
Yes.
We just suggested that you
back.
help, and you argued profusely.
We said we will not. We will go. We will
help.
We will provide you.
No, stop. Come back.
We'll wait. We'll provide you with any equipment that you might need.
We've got equipment. We just needed some of you to guide our trackers to the areas around. Because you are familiar with it.
We're not familiar at all with the areas. Only the dig site, which is just out back here.
Which I would assume would be the first place that Dr. Franklin would have headed to, being being the most familiar spot to her.
Don't be a fool. Of course we searched the dig spot first. She's not there. He says it exactly like that.
Right, but we don't even know where the dig site is, and I was asking part of your group.
It's only 50 yards to the left.
Sir. Huh.
Now, if you
all right, we're gonna leave. Good luck with, don't catch rickets.
All right. So what do you guys do?
I'm gonna leave the creepy club.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, I feel like I walked into a really weird hot topic.
Okay. All right. So you guys go back outside.
You know
Yeah.
what? While we're out there, I want to go check on Joseph.
You
Okay.
check out.
You
Joseph.
okay? What's the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going to talk to the Danielle, the writer, and I was like, "Did you notice
She's in the back.
how oddly?"
Just in the bathroom.
Oh, I guess I'm not talking to her then.
Okay.
I could bring in the phone. I could bring in the phone.
That's all right.
Yeah, we can wait. Yeah. So, what are you doing, Captain?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm just following these guys because I
Is
failed
there
my,
a
I
back
failed
door to
my
this
rolls. Go ahead, Mike.
Is there a back door to this place?
Yeah, sure.
To this building?
Yes, yeah. There is a back door. Sorry, I got kind of the wrong map up, but I'm just in a rush.
Detective
There's a back
or
door here. There's a door here. And there's a door here.
okay. Detective or captain? I don't know I don't know the nature of your work per se, but would either of you have any experience with, say, unauthorized
Mike,
entry
she's back.
to?
Mike, she's back.
Okay, I'll get to her in a second. Unauthorized entry, like sneaking into places.
These guys are...
Captain and detective.
Yeah.
Check my sheet.
What is it?
Looking for you any sort of stealth or sleight of hand experience.
Barely any.
Sneak attack might work great here, too.
I mean, being in the war in the trenches, I'm good at sneaking or being quiet and whatnot, but I don't know of any
Here's
underhanded
the thing.
tactics. So
I'm a detective. I didn't multi-class into rogue.
Aw. I believe there is stealth. That would be the skill you guys are looking for.
oh, yeah, I said I do have the ability to be quiet and move around quietly from being in the trenches in the war, but I don't know any other underhanded tactics as you are currently looking for.
Okay. Uh,
Locksmith would be the other one you're
it
looking
would
for.
really.
Yeah, out of character, I have one in locksmith.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It would really. I think it would be very beneficial if we were able to search the rest of this building, because I think we would find some very interesting.
I agree, but I have a very itchy trigger figure with these five people here, and I don't trust them one bit. So,
Well,
will they allow us to just walk around and explore? They seem very adamant about us either going
As you
into
say
this
that,
room
you
or
notice
going outside.
there's spaces in the window.
Oh, good.
Are they faces we recognize?
Yeah, there are a couple of the research expedition team.
Are they wearing clothing? Well, they first of all,
They're wearing the
when they were
same
talking,
clothing that you saw them with inside. They're just looking at you outside the window. Not really
but
weird.
is it heavy clothing or
It's appropriate clothing. It's
okay.
jackets. Yeah.
okay?
Smile and wave, boys. Smile
Yeah.
and wave.
Um,
We don't tell them that we think they're incredibly scary.
what do you say we go out to the dig site?
Well, it seems you and the doctor seem to have a pretty good, shall I say, sharp tongue or sharp wit, so I leave it to your judgment as at the moment.
Well, I think if we go out to the dig site, we'll see how many of them follow us out there.
Also, here's something you do notice unusual, and all of you would probably notice this by now because you're standing outside. It really does look like for about 1,000 feet, there's no fog around the building. And then the fog thickens almost weirdly. It doesn't just like slope into a thick fog. It just a sheet of the fog just drops.
If that's the case, I lean over to Professor and I kind of quietly say, "What do you think? This is definitely a little outside of our what's the word?
Expertise?
Not so much expertise, but our world. It's a little outside of us."
Well, as I said before,
Chris, you broke up.
sorry, the being in question, I'm not going to say the name right now for obvious reasons. One of the things it was known for was being the god of winds. So they also called it the Wind Walker. So these changes in the weather, I have no doubt it's responsible. I really want to check on Joseph and make sure he's okay before we do anything else.
Oh, you were going to Joseph. I'm sorry, you were going to Joseph. You get there. He's just standing there. He has a little heater in the train. He says, "Is everything okay?"
Truth be told, Joseph, things are a little eerie
Did you find
right
out
now.
what's going on?
Not particularly. These. Can I trust you, Joseph?
Sure. About what?
These people, they say that the doctor killed her husband and ran off into the wilderness, but they're rather calm.
That's hard to believe.
Well, they're rather calm about the whole thing, and they're very adamant that we go find her while they stay here.
Well, why don't you go find her?
I want to check on you first, because things are rather suspicious here.
I have a gun.
All right, you do?
Yes.
All right. If anything happens, fire it, and we'll come to you, okay?
What would happen? What are you expecting up here?
I don't know. Something's really suspicious with these people, and I don't like it, and I just want to make sure that you're safe.
Well, I tell you one thing. I saw the doctor, this Dr. Franklin, Mariah and Lim. I saw them a couple times. I mean, there's more than two people. If there was ever more than two people in love, I don't think you'll find it. I find it hard to believe she would kill her other husband.
That's funny because these people were saying that they were having like a lover's quarrel the whole time they were here, and then she finally stabbed him in the back.
And then she ran off into the woods.
Then that doesn't seem like the two I met. They spoke to each other in tender words. And he adored her.
Okay. All right.
Relationships can easily go sour.
All right. I'll be back. Like I said, if anything happens, don't be afraid to fire in the air, and we'll come to you. Understand?
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. I'm going to head back to the group then.
Okay. You guys, group, what were you doing while he was gone?
Trying to see, they said the dig site was only 50 yards away. We should be able to see it from here.
Right. It's, like I said, it's a little foggy, but you can see it. It looks like you can see some equipment, construction equipment around it. It looks like a tarp is covering the complete ground, but you can definitely tell there's an entrance to go into the tarp. It definitely, it covers a good 100 yards diameter. And you can't see what it is, but there's a tarp and there's a opening that leads you down into underneath the tarp. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it goes down into goes down the ground.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that Dr. Franklin went down in there. That would be shelter.
But they said they looked.
How hard did they look?
You can go back and ask them.
I think we should look.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't believe they looked.
Hard enough. All right. Okay. So you're going. Who's going down into the tarp?
I mean,
But I think we go down together.
yeah, we're sticking as a group.
Not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna go down by myself.
Oh, why not?
I'm gonna stay in the back just in case to cover our asses.
Okay.
I'll
So
be,
are
I'll be
you
within like 6 feet or 8 feet of
are you
our
going to
group.
wait for the professor to come back, or are you just going to go straight in?
I'm actually gonna start heading over there on my own.
Okay. Who else is heading over there on their own?
I'm gonna go over with him.
All right. And Sergeant, what are you doing? Cobb? Zoe?
Oh yeah, I'm going with them.
Okay. So you're going over there. And
Is that I'm sticking? Sorry, am I like shorting out? Because I thought I said that I was going with them.
I didn't hear you clearly. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay, I'll speak up.
all right, so you're heading over. Just as you're heading over, you see the professor start to come back. Professor, what are you doing?
I'm gonna approach the group. I'm gonna say Joseph. He did give me a little. I told him what and he's incredibly surprised. He said that he met both of them a couple of times, and according to him, he never saw a couple that was more in love. So he found it incredible. Stabber.
You keep breaking up, man.
Oh. Can anyone hear me?
Can
Yeah,
you hear
you're
me?
good.
Yeah, now, yeah.
Yeah. So I say, so Joseph is fine. He's unharmed. I explained what we were told by the expedition group, and he actually provided some insight. He said that he met the Franklins a couple of times, and that, according to him, he never met a couple that was more in love. And he finds it incredibly hard to believe that Mariah would stab Liam and then run off into the woods. Yeah, he finds it very suspicious. I told him if anything weird happens, he is armed to fire in the to go running to him.
Okay. Now, so you guys are at the tarp, and there are stairs leading down. You can definitely tell there's some sort of digging or something that was underneath here. I take it that you guys go down. Are you guys going down?
So
It's wide enough for two people to go at a time, and you can tell looking at it, it goes down maybe a good 50 feet. And around in the surrounding areas, you can definitely see piles of dirt, stone, and rock laying about. There's still, like I said, there is excavation equipment around.
Yeah.
Through looking around, is there any kind of ambush points or a way that they can find a way to dispose of us, whether it be cracks in the
Well,
cave or
on the top of the summit, it's surprisingly sparse of trees. You don't see a lot of trees up here.
Huh.
Ambush points. Being you're the army captain, you can only really see the ambush points would be coming out of the fog, but even that, there's a good distance between there. It's pretty open here.
okay.
I have a
better then.
I have a question. Is it? We're on top of a mountain, so this is probably a stupid question. Is there snow up here?
There is snow. There is snow. Yes, there. It's not deep, but it is snow. Yes.
Okay. I'm wondering if it's possible. I'm going to assume no because it's been 2 days, but if it's possible to find any kind of trail leading from this building out into the wilderness.
Well, if you had someone that had tracking, maybe.
Let's see.
not me.
I doubt I do.
Mm.
Yep, that's a 10. Yeah. And babe, that's a 10. So
My
no.
God, I am rolling like shit today. I'm sorry.
What you roll? You want to spend some?
84.
You want to push? You want to push that? If you
The way
push
I'm
it,
rolling?
if you push it,
No.
okay. You want to add some luck to it?
No, I don't want to add 44 luck. I only have 50.
So what were you looking for?
Well, you were talking about tracking, and I have tracking, so I
Mhm.
was trying to help the doctor, or the professor, rather.
You do have your coin. You still have your mass Evocati coin. Those are still good for adding one 50 points to one roll.
No, I think I'm going to save it something a little more important, or not important, but a little less, a little more.
Oh yeah, I
Like-
forgot to mention, you guys, your coins still act as they always do.
Okay.
At least, but you got to face consequences on use that.
You know what? Hell with it. I'm gonna roll tracking. Why not? It's gonna be lousy.
Yep, it was.
Yeah. No.
Can't make heads or tails.
Nope.
Can I try it?
Sure, might as well.
Yeah.
I knew that was
You
happening.
guys are looking around yourselves and.
Yep. You got a 48. That's a nope. We
Detective,
can't see shit up here.
Detective.
Yes. What is it?
Can you track people? You're a
I can
detective.
try.
No.
No. Super no.
No.
I don't know why that rolled twice.
Everyone roll a luck roll.
Okay. So I have.
I'm sorry. Wrong roll. Everyone roll a power roll.
Power roll. Okay.
Yes.
I have
Okay.
18. Or no, I have a 45.
Our roll
Babe.
kill.
You have a 74.
Gosh darn it! You can't roll for.
Ow!
Okay. Mike, Chris, and Nate. You guys are looking around, and you're outside of the dig here. As you look towards your west a little bit, you see that curtain of fog. It almost looks like it's parting. There's like almost a tunnel in it, if you will. It's almost like it just translucent. There's a weird tunnel, a natural tunnel in the fog, and it seems to go and lead somewhere.
Huh.
And you all roll hard too, by the way. You also hear a faint drumming sound.
Oh no.
Sort of like, I don't know, Indian drums.
Did it sound anything like we heard in the dreams?
A lot like you heard.
How windy is it?
Not too windy, not too bad.
Oh.
I don't like this.
Okay, but if you didn't make
More
it,
windy than-
but for Zoe and Danny, you don't see anything different.
Is it more windy now that we're?
Very, very white.
It
I look at the doctor. This shit's going down.
if I were a more impressionable man, I would say that something is trying to get us to go that direction.
I'll accept an apology. It's fine.
That's the ground you're looking at. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah. We see
Yep.
it.
Yeah, that's the ground you're looking at. And that curtain it opened up is actually going that way. It's going away from the buildings.
I approach the doctor and I say, "You hear the drums too, right?"
I do. I suspect that there's some
Yes,
sort of ambush set up by our friends inside, which is why they wanted us to split up, and they were hoping to lure part of us down. I don't believe that Dr. Franklin murdered her husband. I believe that one of them did it.
And they're blaming it on them.
Blaming it on Doc. They possibly could have murdered both the doctor and her husband.
Yeah, they were acting very off. Not the normal kind of off.
Well, here's my question. We have three options here. We go in the hole, we follow the route, or we go inside and we question them thoroughly. What are we thinking?
All right. Well, if we go in the hole, the problem with going in the hole is we're stuck in a hole.
And we don't want to be stuck in a hole in the cold.
I don't think we're going to get anywhere with those people. They are very adamant that they don't wish to cooperate with us, and so I think we have to follow this path, fully being fully aware that we may find another group of those people waiting to fall upon us.
Those people.
What do you think, Captain, being a military man?
Honestly, at this point, I think we're pins in or looking for a pin and a needle in the haystack. So I think, to be honest, we just got to go with our gut. And I like your idea.
Being a man of tactics, if you know there's an ambush ahead, how would you avoid that?
Well, I looked around earlier and I feel comfortable that there's not really an obvious ambush, but from our dreams the other night and the uneasy feeling I get for these people, because I'll be honest, I was ready to shoot all of them, but I steadied myself. I don't think we really have a perfect option because there's something more going on here than we all understand, except for maybe the professor. So I think we just need to roll with the punches. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless we feel like starting a massacre and just killing everybody inside. I mean, that's always an option. But are you ready to
That would make
accept those consequences?
that would make you as mad as those individuals in there.
I don't mind. I've killed many people.
I think it might be important to figure out the reason why before we start pulling triggers.
Yes, and me being a doctor, I cannot be party to.
Of course, to each their own. I've made my decision, but I am waiting for a little more information. But they're definitely not on my nice list.
I am posing a theory that while I agree with you, Doctor, something psychological is going on, I would say it's less cabin fever and more something I would coin as Wendigo psychosis. Something here brought on this madness, and now it's almost the enactment somehow. These drums in the distance and their behavior proves that.
Free. What do you mean by free?
Something's not right. And I really...
You're cutting out.
I said something's not right. And I know the Wendigo is involved in this. I know it is. Something isn't right, and it is responsible.
So you said the Wendigo eats people, right?
It is known as a cannibalistic spirit, yes.
Who's to say that they didn't eat the head scientists?
Oh, dear Lord.
They were very adamant that we go out here. Even if it's not in my realm of expertise, it could easily be a combination of mine and yours, Doctor, a Wendigo psychosis, if you will.
I will agree with you that there is some level of psychosis going on here. This could be some sort of strange, mass psychosis, where it almost seems contagious, where one of these people has gone a little off the deep end, and the others have just followed suit. I don't know. I don't know if I could buy into this Wendigo theory of yours, but I definitely agree that there is some level of psychosis going on here.
Honestly, my vote is less, let's go find out what's up with the drums, and more, let's go find out what's in the building.
Okay.
That's where my vote is.
So what are you guys doing?
I want to go inside and
I
confront
think we
these
go
guys.
back and just bust back into
think-
the building.
I think we confront the human element of this first before we start pondering the supernatural.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Nice and simple.
I'm in.
Okay.
So,
You guys head back to the building?
yeah.
All right.
I'd also like to clarify that
All right.
I'm proposing the cannibal theory regardless of whether or not this Wendigo is actually real. Because if they believe it's real, then that might lead to possible cannibalization.
Which, again, would further lead to a Wendigo psychosis. So even if it's not based in supernatural, it's inspired by supernatural events.
Yes.
And also prime opportunity for you to go knock police and kick.
I can agree with that, because as a doctor, I can get on board with that. It's not necessarily a paranormal,
But the belief in the paranormal spurring something on.
yeah.
Roll power, everyone, again.
Roll what?
Power.
Okay.
Everyone roll
Everybody?
power. Yeah, everybody.
All right.
Ooh, I failed that one.
I got an extreme. No, that's... Yeah, I did get an extreme.
Is it possible to burn luck on a...
You roll the extreme. How much more do you want?
No. The other one's for Danielle. The failure with Danielle.
Yeah, she can burn luck if she wants.
Do you want to burn 4 luck, make it a success? She's going to burn 4 luck, success. So I have an extreme.
Okay. People who... Okay, well, that does nothing for Danielle. Zoe and Mike, you don't see that tunnel anymore in this fog. Nathan, you still see it. Zoe, you now see the tunnel, but along with the tunnel, and Christopher, you also see this. You see a wolf, a small wolf, running through the tunnel of fog.
Towards us?
No, running away from you. You don't know where it came from. It doesn't even look real. I mean, it looks real, but it looks like ethereal. It doesn't look like it's solid, non-corporeal. It's a small wolf.
Looks like there's a wolf.
It's a small wolf.
A small wolf.
Can I see that it's ethereal?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So
it looks back. It looks at you, and it looks at you and Zoe, and then basically turns and runs into the tunnel.
Detective, did you see that?
Yes.
Could you see?
Yes, I did. I absolutely saw through it.
By the way, no one else saw that.
See what?
See through what?
If you're not going to listen to me, listen to Zoe. Are you a man or a woman? right now?
Man,
If you're not going to listen to me, listen to him. He saw it too.
there was
What?
an ethereal wolf that ran into the tunnel.
You saw a wolf in the fog.
Yes, but you could see through it.
Wasn't there.
Like you could see its organs?
No, like it was
And you
ghostly.
didn't
like you could see
feel
through
and
it.
you didn't feel that it was evil or anything like that. By the way,
And it was small.
It was.
I remember that it was small.
It was probably just far away. It's.
I think you're far away right now.
Well, wolves live up, in this area, so it's not uncommon for you to have seen a wolf, and it's very foggy, and it is far away. So perhaps you just
okay.
you saw
Like
what you
today
wanted.
when there's only 6.5 wolves in the state.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
It's only 5.5 now. One of them died.
Oh.
All right. What are you guys doing? It is getting cold out here.
Yep. I'm going right back to the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
I
going
thought
to
that
the
was the consensus, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are still going back to the building. All right, you get back to the building. What do you do? You're at the door.
All right.
I think
It's like
Thinking
Reservoir
maybe either-
Dog styles. We just go in there, guns blazing.
Yeah.
Not guns blazing.
They're in a
Questions.
hotel, right? So
we're gonna
you
use
don't
our words.
play.
Not a hotel yet. It's like a.
No, we're going to go in there and say, we think that you killed them.
I suspect you killed Mr.
Okay.
With the Wendigo in the bathroom.
Okay. So you guys open the door. Who's opening the door?
I'll open it.
Okay. Jones opened the door. You open the door, and you see Han and another guy standing pretty much where you guys left off at. And Han looks at you and says, "Did you find her already?"
No, I have a question.
Sure.
Did Mariah kill her husband, or did one of you kill them?
I did not kill. No one's killed Mariah.
Psychology. No one's killed. Psychology.
Okay, roll psychology.
Nope.
We can't read this guy.
I see no contradictions here.
So you won't mind if we take a look around then?
We feel free to. Is there a problem?
Yeah, there's a big problem. I don't trust you guys.
Why?
Something's not right here.
What have we done to you?
It's not what have you done to us. I'm thinking what have you done to people here?
We're the only ones here.
Look me in the eye and tell me that you are a rational thinking man right now.
I am rational in thinking. He looks you straight in the eye.
Psychology.
Okay, roll.
Not a man.
I'm not a man. Don't.
You have no idea.
Can I psychology this again?
This guy's good at staring
Can
contests.
I psychology them?
What are you trying to find?
Yeah, I think the doctor should be the one psychologying people.
I'm still troubled by some of the ways they spoke, and again the lack of emotion when they were just presented with the accusation that they murdered someone.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I joked about it. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
So what are you trying to find out? I mean, you know that there was a lack of emotion because you don't need to roll for that.
No, I guess you're right.
Yeah, you don't need to roll for that. There it was. So he says, you're more than welcome to look where you want. The body of Liam is outside.
Of course it's outside. Everything's outside.
Is it right next to the building, sir? We do not want to keep a dead body in here.
Will you come out and show us?
Yes, we will do that. Follow us.
Yes.
Yeah.
They lead you down the hallway. Do you guys follow them?
Yeah, and I'm drawing my 38 behind my back just in case.
Okay. Lead you in the door here, and you come outside to a little area right there, just outside the building, and you see what looks like a body wrapped in cloth, and a red spot right in the middle of it. That is what's left of Liam Franklin.
What's left?
Hmm?
Where'd the rest of him go? What's missing?
So I'm going to go over to the body, and I'm
he's,
going to.
he's looking at you like, "What are you talking about?"
I'm going over to the body. I'm going to open the. Is it a sheet, like a
Yeah.
blanket or something? I'm going to open it up to start examining the body.
Okay. First thing you see is a male, approximately late 20s, early 30s. Quick look. He has a stab wound in his back, and he's probably been dead a day or so because he's blue, but the cold has probably preserved him. And make a medical check. Give yourself a bonus die. Let's say let's say the first one is extreme. What you find is that the cause of death. I mean, it takes you 15 minutes. You don't, as quickly as you can. The cause of death is actually a stab wound in the back that punctured the heart. Probably, and he died fairly quickly. And you're pretty sure it's been a few days. You see them standing there. It says, "Have you found what you're looking for?"
Partially.
He's not eaten. All his parts are there.
Who said anything about him being eaten?
No, that's the GM saying that. He hasn't been eaten.
Oh, I was just saying, I was like, hey.
I was gonna say, you're making this too easy for us.
No. He's all his parts are there. He says, "There, sir."
You know what?
Okay.
Does anyone have a medallion or something? Something on a chain? Just out of curiosity. I want to try to hypnotize this guy.
Why would you not have that? Like, out of character, why would you not have that on you?
You would probably have something on it like that.
I would. Okay.
I have a pocket watch. How's that?
All right, that works. So
Like, I'm just saying.
So I'm gonna go up to this Nick guy, and I'm gonna say, Nick, I'm gonna swing this back and forth, and I want you to keep your eyes on it, okay?
Why?
Just routine examination, just checking something. Can you
You've
do
been
that for
very
me?
stressed over the past few days.
He's like, "Will this find Mariah?"
It will help, yes.
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Oh, come on. I want this to work.
You do it, and he goes.
I have 83 luck. How much do I want to spend on this?
Don't die with.
You can't take it with you.
Yeah, I can't take it with me. Hold on a minute. I need to see.
When else are you going to get an opportunity to do this?
I am gonna burn 27 luck to hypnotize the son of a bitch.
Oh my god!
You would.
I have 83 luck. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
27 luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you still have more out of all of us, even with doing that.
Let me roll something real quick here.
Hey, if I'm told, by the way, you have this as a side note, I'm gonna use it.
You go look into my eyes, and he basically grabs the watch and goes, "This is ridiculous. Your pitiful show of power does nothing to me."
What? Time out. A pitiful show of power, you say?
Yes, he says, "Up to now, I've indulged in your antics, but I grow weary. Now, there's 5 of you. I'm going to go 1, 2. 1 will be Miles. I'm going to go by your order of characters. He basically just said, I try to be nice. And let's see, rolls. What is that roll? The roll is 3. So that means that would be... By the way, it's only there's those 2 were there, like I said. That would be 1, not there, 2, 3. Jones!
Aw, damn it.
Please make a power roll, and you're going to need better than this. 1 second. You're going to need better than a... Okay. You're going to need better than a hard on your power roll.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
That's a
All right.
32. You've got luck. You have a 32.
Number 10.
Yeah, you got number 10.
Okay,
Okay.
burn it.
All right. Jones, you need to do it again.
What?
You're gonna need an extreme this time.
Ooh.
Yes, because 4 of them are missing.
Ugh.
Do you have enough luck to give yourself an extreme?
Oh, God. Okay, hold on. I need to do math now. You would have to spend all the rest of your luck to make that extreme success.
Told you should have killed him.
It's a shot. I should just... Can't die.
Are you gonna spend
Wait,
it?
are you really going to do this?
I'm in. All in.
Oh, God.
All right, let's roll one more time.
You got the
Oh,
point.
come on.
I'm
You have
sorry, you guys just basically. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, you have the coin.
We have
Use
coins.
this, I have to roll again.
Yes, you gotta roll again. You will need again another extreme.
Can she choose to use the coin before or after?
No, she will have to use it this turn if she wants.
All right. What are you thinking, babe?
Roll it, and then what I need.
You literally have no luck left.
If the GM was going to give you advice, I would, and you still wouldn't have made it.
Dude, there's...
Are you using the? I'm going to give you the option. You don't have to use the coin. Even if you use the coin, you still won't make it.
Oh, well, if I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to waste it.
Okay, gotcha. You may use it for something later. All right. Luckily, that was the last one.
From the afterlife.
And that was the last one. They were a little pissed by that. That actually pissed them off. Even more so. All right. You see Jones fall. You hear the wind pick up a lot. You see Jones look like she's racked in pain. You see mucus and blood start to come out of her eyes and nose and other parts, which we won't get too far into. She falls back. She's not dead. Jones, whatever your hit points are, take 3/4 of them away.
Holy crap. You have 8. What the hell is 3/4 of 8?
You have 2.
6.
Yeah, I'm 6. Yeah. So
You have 2 hit points left.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Roll a Constitution save. Check, please. Roll Constitution.
You have literally worse than Mage 8.
Okay, you are passing out, but you are in pain. Pain like you have never felt before in your life. You're in pain. You see her screaming.
Okay.
I'm going to go around the table. Miles, what are you doing?
I'm taking my gun and I'm putting it right in Nick's face and saying, call the Wendigo off.
He laughs a little bit. He says, if you kill this body, that would make I don't care if you kill this body. In fact, I've grown tired of it. All right, Dr. Wiscombe, what are you doing?
I see Jones go down. I am going over to administer first aid.
Okay, please make a medical roll.
Medical or first aid?
Okay, you do first aid. Yeah, go for it. First aid.
Advantage or?
Yeah, give yourself advantage. Success. We'll go with the success. No. You want to spend some luck? Oh, wait a minute. You got the, hold up. You do have the second roll, which is a 30. You make a success. No, you don't make a success. You need to spend at least 2 points. Do you?
Yes, I will. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. She's holding on. It looks, you're not quite sure what's going on, but it just seems like her blood pressure tripled. Things are coming out of her that shouldn't be. You're keep trying to keep her stable, but you don't know how much longer you can do this. She is going to die horribly if it gets worse.
Okay. I'm just gonna
Okay,
do
that's
what I
what.
can.
Okay, that's what
Yep.
you. That's what
That's
you
my
did.
thing. Yep.
All right. Let's go to Jones. You're on the ground, Captain. What are you doing? Sydney.
Oh my. I want to shoot him. I mean, that's the only logical thing to do that I can understand at this moment. So.
Well, that's not. You're not. You're not a brute. You know he doesn't. He doesn't look like he's doing it. Shooting him. And remember, you're
He al-
you're a military officer. You're not a. You're not a soldier person. Just a soldier. You
All
think
right.
things through before you use force. Now you can do what you want with your character, but your character would probably only use force when it will achieve a goal. So what are you going to do?
If that's
Now
the
you can
case,
shoot if you can shoot. I'm not stopping you. I'm just saying that this is what your character knows. If you want to shoot, you're more than welcome to do so.
I don't know. So what I'll do is I'll look to the doctor and ask what's going on because he just sees that he was shaking the coin or whatever and it didn't seem to do anything. And then the guy made a threatening comment to him, and then all of a sudden, Danielle fell. So I'll ask the doctor what's going on.
Doctor, you can say something.
Sorry, what was that? You cut out for a second.
You can say something. You can speak.
It's like, I didn't hear what Nate said.
He wants to know what's going on.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
from my
know.
perspective, I didn't see anything.
I don't know. She's. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's bleeding from everywhere. I've only seen this in reported cases of,
Okay, that's all you can say.
Yeah.
Detective Cobb, what are you
All
doing?
right. The weird hypnotist guy seems to know the most about what's going on here, so I'm going to defer to him and what should we do? What's our best course of action?
Which guy?
Chris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. His character.
I'm going to say you keep an eye on all the rest of these guys. I'm having a chat with this asshole.
All right.
Okay. All right, Chris. He looks calm. He says, "Yes, your friend will die a very agonizing death very soon."
You know, you have a lot of tall talk for someone that has to hide in a physical body.
I think you finally figured it out. He says, "Here's what you're going to do if you want your
I
friend."
think he's had it figured out from the beginning.
He says, "Here's what you're going to do if you want to see your friend alive. If you want your friend to be alive and you don't want yourself, and if you don't want yourselves to die too in such a matter, you will find Professor Franklin now."
What is she to you?
I don't care about her. I want the artifacts that she stole.
Why are they important to you, Wendigo?
You're wasting time. I am not all Master Wendigo, fool. And he says, "You're wasting time. Your friend doesn't have much." As that, you see Jones spasm in pain. Ah!
Nice.
I will go find the doctor myself. You
You have 30
let her go.
You have 20 minutes, or else the spell will be irreversible, and your friend will die. And then I will work on your next friend, and then your next. And then don't worry about your puny weapons. They won't do anything to us. If you destroy this body, we simply get a new one. Perhaps yours. Now go.
You touch my friends, you tell your god to grow some balls and come find me yourself.
Jesus, pretty.
I'm standing my ground, man. This is my field.
Puny human. Do what you're told. Now.
Frozen tart.
Fine, Franklin. Bring me the artifacts. And perhaps you may live to see another day.
I turn around and I go, keep her stabilized. Keep her stabilized. I will be back in 20 minutes.
Doctor, what are you doing?
You're not going alone.
Continuing to work on keeping Jones stabilized.
Make a medical roll, please. Oh, good. As weird as it sounds, it feels like something's pulling on her blood. I know that for a medical man, that makes absolutely no sense, but it's like there's something trying to suck her blood out of her body, and it's causing pressure on her veins and arteries and so forth like that, and that's causing a great deal of pressure. But you can also tell that when he said something and she screamed, the pressure was greater. Now it's eased back a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that I probably wasn't focused so much on what was going on behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I actually would have put those together.
Well, you saw her screaming.
Yeah.
Right.
But if things are if the effects are starting to lessen, in my mind, it's because I'm doing something right.
Gotcha. And you are giving her morphine. You're shooting her morphine. You can tell that is helping. It's helping the pain. Jones, you're still in agony. Sorry about that, guy. Sorry about that, Danny. Captain, what are you doing? Captain Sydney.
I guess I'm going with the professor because I have tracking skill if I roll well enough.
Okay. Detective Cobb, what are you doing?
I should probably stay here.
Okay.
Honestly.
Sadly, this is where we're going to have to stop. This is the first time I have not been able to do this in one shot.
Because we're slow.
I hope it's not a bad
No,
thing.
no,
We're not slow.
no, you guys role play, and I appreciate that. Don't be ashamed, not at all. We will have to find a time where we can finish this, though. You guys are almost finished, but
I mean, I'm willing to bump my D&D next week to a different day so we can finish it next week if you want.
Okay.
All right. If that's okay with everyone.
I don't mind.
I can tell you I don't think it's going to take a whole session because you're really, really close. And so, yeah, let's try
Do
that.
half and half.
Yeah, we
can do half and half.
Yeah, you're really, really close unless you guys... Let me take that back. Every time I say that about you guys, it turns out not to be that way. So, honestly, it's like, oh, you guys almost finished. And then it's like, what? You guys didn't even get into the hole yet.
You know that thing, you enter your party enters the tavern and there's the shroud, the hooded figure in the corner with the 3 flaming spheres floating around his head. Is there anybody else in the tavern? Well, there's a gnome named Sam Smorkle. We want to talk to Sam Smorkle.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it so far.
Oh my god! Did you write this?
It's 100% original.
Holy shit, man!
And hopefully after you guys go through it, I'll make a tweak here and there. I'm going to submit it to Chaosium and see what they think, because I read a couple of the ones they're doing for Gen Con, and I was like, fuck, I can do better than that. so anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll do this Thursday.
It's cool. I'm riding in agony for the next week.
There you go.
Wait.
All right, guys. Once again, it was great. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yes, you
Thanks,
will.
bud. Congrats
Thank
again
you.
on the job.